Right.
We've got Crush, Endo, Liquid Demons, and Edgework. Three
Salutations.
high-ranking flying monkeys, if there ever was one.
We have a junior member too.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We have a junior Rue
Right here.
in the room.
A little
Right here.
Joey.
He's a Joey, yeah.
Exactly, right? Exactly, a little Joey. Same as Christiana. She should be joining us shortly, hopefully.
Oh, cool. One of the very, very few girls that considers themselves a flying monkey.
Yeah, well, I think he's getting a few more. He's getting a few.
He's got that 7% thing going on.
Yeah, we need to get that to about 15 if we can.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But that might mean we would get less of the beautiful girl video content, right? He's pandering to us with that.
I think the ladies in his viewership appreciate the sexy ladies in the background too. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
Don't have a problem with that. It's all good. It's all good.
Why do we figure that it's mainly men on the atheist channels?
Because women have there are fewer female atheists because when you're a mother, I've heard that if you're a mother, you want to hold out some hope that there's a God.
That's what my ex told me a few times. That's what she believed. Even though, hey, calm down, Cutler. Even though, on all stances, she would have qualified as an atheist. She still didn't accept the label because she wanted to hold out hope that, maybe there is something out there.
That's just a weird. I find that quite a weird point of view. That if, my wife has become less religious since. She was one for wanting to take the kids to church and stuff initially, and I was like, nah, I'm not really into that. Okay, gosh, you're gonna have to mute.
Hold on, I got it.
But as time's gone on, like we were talking about before we went live, when I first moved to this country, I knew what an atheist was, but I've never even thought about calling myself an atheist or talking about atheism or anything like that until I moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're surrounded by nut jobs, basically.
Yes.
So rather than assimilate, you decided to stick out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not one for fitting in or conforming. That's really not my thing. In real life, I'm not. I'm not just like this on the internet.
I've been like that since I was, 7 or 8, but I was raised in a Christian household, so I kind of followed the rules until I was able to get out on my own.
Same with me. But my wife's an atheist, and I'm quite confident that her sister is as well. But her sister still had the children baptized just to hedge the bet. Pascal's wager.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Why is she not also, getting a bar mitzvah? Get that done too.
Or bury a baby under a post hole of a building. What's the fucking difference, right?
Right. But while you're at it, get dragon feather in.
Yeah. Oh, I love me some dragon feather.
She's so endearing.
We should invite her in.
So as time went on with me, I got to America at the back end of 2010, and then I found, and it was a natural progression for me. It wasn't something that I was trying to do. I just felt myself more and more strongly against religion because it's everywhere you go in Texas. It's and it wasn't just that. It was like my wife's mother and stuff like that that would give my son Bibles and stuff like that. It just used to drive me up the wall.
Fun fact, both of my parents are ordained ministers, and I've grown up in rural Midwestern U.S., so I feel you there. I have been surrounded by religious nutbags my entire life.
Would you consider your part of the country the Bible Belt?
No. I've just happened to live in those weird outspurts where there is a lot of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not talked about in polite circles in Canada, but there are a lot of Christians. I was raised a Christian, but my father was an atheist.
Yeah, I don't think religion is anywhere near as ingrained in Canada as it is in the U.S. That's for sure.
No, absolutely not. But we see what it does to the world. You know,
Yeah.
and we see how good society can be if we don't have those influences, and that's what gets me involved. Is that I see what's going on in the rest of the world. And I'm like, why don't you guys just fucking wake up and live like Canada?
Well, you've got like I hear this a lot. Being an Englishman in America, you hear a lot about the Canadian and English healthcare services. Like they're the best thing ever. Now we've got two Canadians here. Tell me what the situation is in Canada with medical. Is it as good as what they say it is?
In my experience, it's been good. My dad has been fighting some very serious illness the last while, and his hospital stays have been fantastic.
So I'm getting distracted here by people trying to message me. I do apologize.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear
So
your...
if you just say that again. My apologies.
I just turn off all that other messaging stuff.
It was Drew and Devin I was talking to though.
Oh, right. That's right. You're the host. You kind of have to.
Yeah. Just watching you guys talk. Oh.
What did
Right.
Liquid say about the treatment his dad's getting?
He's found it, and we've found it to be excellent.
I would agree. I've had a number of occasions in my life and my family to need serious health care, and it was totally there for us. And it's absolutely remarkable how much that helps a family in a difficult situation. However, I've been to the United States and had health care there, covered by my Canadian insurance, mind you, and the facilities in the United States, in some of the facilities, are much nicer.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. When I was in class this week, I was talking to one of the guys there about, and he was from Minnesota, so he sounded like a Canadian, and I treated him like a Canadian, but he wasn't a Canadian. And we got talking about this medical healthcare thing, and in England, if you break your arm or break your leg, well, you're straight into hospital and you're getting treated straight away. But if you, let's say if you're feeling unwell, or the best example to give would be if you have any problem with your teeth.
Oh yeah.
If you have really bad toothache, or like I experienced back in England, I got a really bad abscess in the tooth, and I couldn't get in to see it. It's not that I couldn't get in to see a dentist. There weren't any dentists because they all fucked off to America or Poland or whatever because they earn more money over there.
Dental. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Dental isn't covered up in Canada at all.
It's not. No, it isn't in England either. I mean, it is to a point. You can get emergency triage, and that's about it. So I had to go to an emergency doctor. I was in agony. It was to the point where it had gone beyond pain, to where it was actually making me physically sick.
I heard they also don't fluoridate the water over there. Is that true?
No, they do. They do. I don't know what the deal is, why English people have such bad teeth, but I put it down to the fact that availability of dentists is shocking. You just can't get in. So the point of my story is I was in absolute agony, and you go to hospital basically. You don't go to a dentist, you go to hospital, and this guy just ripped your tooth out. It's like, we ain't treating it, we're not packing it, we're just ripping the fucking thing out.
That's why you Brits are so tough.
Exactly. We have to put up with severe, intense pain.
You walk around in howling, intense pain, and then just get body parts ripped off. That's pretty hardcore.
And that is the truth of it. It was awful what I had to go through with my teeth at one point. I mean, I had to have 3 teeth pulled out of the back of my head because I couldn't find a dentist to treat it. So don't tell me anything about, not government funded healthcare. And it's not government funded anyway. I pay less tax in this country than I ever did in England.
Well, I would say if you had a serious abscess in Canada and you couldn't get access to a dentist, you would get medical treatment for that. You could go to an emergency room, probably get some good painkillers, and they'll probably yank it.
Okay. Well, Josh, you've had a child in Canada, right? Born, raised in Canada, right?
No, I'm actually in the U.S.
I'm sorry. It's confusing. We've got Josh, we've got Crush and Liquid. They're Canadians.
No, Crushendo and Liquid are Canadians.
Yeah.
Josh is American.
I'm pretty much born and bred in the Midwest U.S. So.
Sorry, right. Well, I made a point actually. I was going to write all your names down, your Twitter names and your actual names, because I didn't know what they are, but I'm not going to announce them. But just to remind myself.
Well, I'm raising children in Canada, so if you have a question about that, I'd be happy to answer it.
So, yeah, definitely. If you, how was the childbirth situation prior, the prenatal care? Was that top-notch?
Excellent. Better than excellent. My son was born, he's 6 now, but he was born somewhat distressed, and we had to spend about a week in neonatal intensive care. It's round the clock, one-on-one care. It's unbelievable, the quality. And then they do home visits afterwards to check on the children. Every child born in Manitoba will have a home visit from a public health nurse. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. In England, and this is the reason why my wife, we were both living in England at the time, and my wife was heavily pregnant. She was like 7 months pregnant, and she had to get flight.
You didn't tell her she was heavily pregnant, did you?
She told herself, dude. She was like, "Get this fucking thing out." And we both came to the decision that, she wasn't going to have the child in England simply because of the level of healthcare that you can expect. So she went back to America to have the baby, and I was supposed to be there about a month after, but that didn't happen. It was 2 years later. So I didn't see my boy for the first 18 months of his life, which was kind of sad.
That's harsh, man.
Yeah. But true. I mean, that's just, talk about U.S. immigration, you do not want to get involved with those people because they'll make your life hell.
Is your wife American?
Yeah, she's born and raised in West Texas.
And still they gave you a hassle?
Yeah, you would think that I'm married to an American, that it would just be a done deal. Just a case of getting the paperwork through. Might take a couple of months at the most. No. I had a drink driving conviction on my English. No, but this was from 1990, dude. I was 20 years old.
Yeah, but they've cracked so hard down after 9/11 down in the States, they're not letting anybody in.
Well, they were following protocol, but the thing is, if you want to immigrate into America from another country, you have to jump through a lot of hoops. One of which is you have to have a medical, right? Now, medically, I'm fit as a fiddle. I don't have anything wrong with me, seriously wrong with me. But if unfortunately,
is another story.
Exactly, mentally debatable. But unfortunately for me, the night before I was due to go for my medical, not giving it really any much thought, I went down to London because you have to go to the London embassy to actually get this done. I went down there, the American embassy in London, should I say. Went down there for the medical. The night prior to it, me and a couple of buddies had gone there and we'd got absolutely shit-faced the night before and had a really good night on the town. So when they did the blood test, because I had a drink driving conviction, it was like over the limit to drive a car. I got to the medical.
In the morning?
No, it was like 10 in the morning. You know what I mean? I didn't give it any thought. I didn't feel drunk or anything, but they took a blood test, and when you drink, you have certain enzymes in your blood that are raised. And basically, they accused me of being an alcoholic and put massive steps in my way to. You have to go see psychologists and all sorts of shit at your own expense. So it should have cost us about no more than £1,000 to do the whole immigration deal. It cost us about $6,000 in total, about 10,000 US in total.
Holy shit!
The most unfortunate thing is, if I would have got to America on time, if none of this shit would have happened, I had a $60,000 job already lined up. The minute I started, the minute I moved into that country, I had a job already lined up. So of course that went by the wayside as well. So it was a total fuck up, dude. It was terrible, terrible. I mean, it's somewhat my own fault, yeah. But that's the story of my life. If anything ever really bad happens in my life, I can pretty much only ever blame one person, and that's myself.
Hey, that's a healthy attitude.
Yeah, and I mean, if you spoke to my wife, she'd be just nodding and agreeing right now.
How did you meet her?
We met online. We met on Match.com in 2006.
While living on separate continents?
Yes.
That is wild.
Yeah, I stole a little tagline that I'd read somewhere, and it was some stupid like, "When the beer runs out, it's time to go home" or something. It was just something and nothing. But for whatever reason, my wife read this tagline and just thought she liked the sound of it. So she sent me a message, and it just fucking went from there, dude. It's crazy.
So she sent you a message realizing that you were in a different country?
I think she knew I was in a different country. Yeah, I think she knew I was in a different country because she was a full paid-up member of Match.com. Whereas I was just like, fucking around basically. I was not going to pay money to a dating website. So
that's a smart move.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was doing it just for the shits and giggles, really. I wasn't doing it, of any interest. But I mean, it's weird how these things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's you're talking online with somebody one moment, and then 6 months later you're meeting them in person. It's weird. I think it's great. So as far as talking to people online and meeting people online, my experience of it generally has been 100% positive, but you understand what I'm getting at there.
Well, I'm a single guy. I've met dozens of women online. It's another avenue these days.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, there's so many women online that are decent and they're not just, brain-dead fucktards. basically.
My wife and I met online as well. We've been married for 7 years now, but we met online, but we lived in the same town, in the same city.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is kind of weird, right? If you meet disparately like that, and it's like, what? You come from the same town?
Well, like, online dating is just part of the fabric of society now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think 10 years ago, it really wasn't. I mean,
No,
not as much as it was now, I guess.
I was a trailblazer.
So was I do. I mean, I've had to recite that story without exaggerating 500 times.
Oh, easy, sure.
Because I've worked in retail in America, and of course with my accent, it's like, whatever brought you to blah blah blah, whatever you're saying, and they ask it like a question that you've never been asked before.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, initially I was all full of enthusiasm to answer that question. Then I went through a phase of, fuck, you asked me the same question again, and
It's
then
your
I've just,
accent.
but now I'm at the point where I already have stock answers to give that I can deliver with enough fake enthusiasm that they think I'm, it's like it is the first time I've ever answered that question, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should make up a few little lies to throw in there, like that you're in hiding from someone.
No, I don't need to make up shit in my life, dude. I really don't.
Man of mystery.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a very, very enlightening experience. When I had to give a presentation yesterday for work, and one of the sections was like an about me. You have to talk about yourself and blah blah blah. So of course, the other 13 people in class, when they talk about themselves, it's like, yeah, I was born in Missouri, or I was born in Los Angeles, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. But when I stand up there, we want to hear this guy talk. I don't really necessarily want to listen to what he's saying, but I want to hear him talk. That's one thing I've really had to get over here. Especially when I was at work, if I was trying to explain something to somebody at work, and people get this particular look on their face, and I can see it a mile away, where you can tell that they're listening to the sound of your voice, but they're not listening to what you're actually saying.
Yeah,
Right.
They're not used to your accent.
So but then I'll challenge them on it. Like, you were just listening to my voice then, you didn't even hear what I said. And if I was talking to a customer or whatever, that's just a total icebreaker. You know what I mean? It just gets you in there. Because of course I was in sales, so.
Well, yeah. Then your customer instantly feels a little bit ashamed and guilty, and so you can sell them anything.
There is that a little bit. I mean, it's only a tiny part of it, but yeah, definitely it is a part of it. And my accent definitely helped me in that particular field. But I had to learn to slow down when I'm talking and things like that. It wasn't something that came naturally to me.
Do you ever call them Anglophobes?
No, they wouldn't know what that meant. They really would. I'm dealing with people from West Texas, dude. They're not even from like Dallas or Houston or Austin. It's just, we're talking Hicks. Put it this way, on TV right now.
That's my people.
On TV right now, and I don't know if you have this where you're at, but there is a website called farmersonly.com.
Yes. Oh
You know
my
what that
God.
is?
Yes.
Farmersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
That's a
I do
dating
that-
site, is it not?
Yes, I hear that
farmers.
goddamn advertisement probably 5 or 6 times an afternoon. It's all over TV here.
Hey, at least they have improved the quality of the commercial. They used to be cheesy as fuck, and now they're
They're
a
still
little bit of
cheesy
class.
as fuck.
They are, but it's like they're playing on the cheesiness. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to own it. I gotcha.
Yeah, and I think they're doing quite well. But
Come on, you wouldn't do a farm girl?
hell yeah, I would. My wife's a farm girl. What are you
I know
talking about?
sexy farm girls. I would do a farm girl.
Yeah, my wife was a farm girl. Not a farm, but she lived on 10 acres with like 5 horses and all the rest of it. So I guess you can call that a farm.
So hey man, did you said West Texas?
Yes. West
Is that what you
Texas.
said?
Odessa, specifically. Odessa.
So
I'm doxing myself again. I don't care.
what happened with that plant that blew up a few years ago, and that paramedic got arrested for having some bomb making equipment?
Ooh, was that in West Texas? The town of West?
Correct.
Right. Well, I'm not from the town of West. I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but I'm not from West. West is.
I want to know what happened to that guy.
I honestly don't know. That was 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was fairly new to the country, and it was like I had too much other things to assimilate to even begin looking at the news around local areas. So I'm not wise enough to talk about it. I know there was an explosion at a gas plant or an oil refinery or something. I never heard that there was any
A
kind
fertilizer plant.
Yes, that's right. But I never heard that there was any kind of sabotage or anything like that going on.
Well, everything was destroyed. They could never prove it, but they found that this paramedic who acted like a hero through the whole incident had a bunch of bomb-making equipment.
Wow.
And so they arrested him, and there's never been any talk of it since. I don't know if he's been convicted of something.
That is strange. I honestly don't know. I am familiar with the with what happened, but not somebody was like responsible for it. But like I say, if it was a few years ago, it's only like if you move to a different country, those first couple of years that you're there, everything is how do I explain this? Everything is almost the same, but not the same. You're not really going to understand that unless you've ever lived in a different country. I'm sure Devin would understand what I'm talking about. It's like there's a TV there that looks just like the one I had back home, but the things that are on the TV seem so bizarre and strange and like of another world. And that's what it's like initially. But then eventually you just forget about those kind of things and you just get on with it. But it is strange. It is an experience that I definitely recommend to anybody if you get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's been a very good experience for me. Very, very, it opens your mind up to lots of different things. But I mean, prior to living in America, I had traveled extensively anyway. So it wasn't such a shock. But it still kind of gets to your bones, if that makes sense.
So when you say that you traveled, would that be for vacation or?
Yes. Well, for the most part, it was vacations and things like that. I had traveled to America prior to actually moving here, but that was in Chicago. That was like 25 years ago when I visited Chicago. It was an awesome experience. I went there for 3 weeks. We had some pen pals that lived over there, so me and my girlfriend at the time went over there and we stayed with a Chicago family for 3 weeks. It was a really, really eye-opening experience. Prior to that, the only place I'd ever been to was Spain. Yes, sir.
False equivalence watch is saying add me.
Absolutely. If you follow him, just send him the link.
And Atheism Unstoppable says, is your son Christian? And if he's talking to me, the answer is no.
How are you getting these messages?
I don't know. It's coming up on the right-hand side here. Or
I don't
maybe
see anything.
I only see a message from Josh. That's why.
Yeah, that's the only thing I see. I don't care. Well, tell Devin he can come in if he wants to. I need a quick potty break. Just give me a second. Talk between yourselves.
I'll do what I can. I'm trying to juggle a kid here. Get him to take a nap.
So Crescendo, are you a sports fan?
Yeah, I love hockey most of all.
Yeah, the Jets are big since they've been back in the NHL.
Absolutely huge, and having made the playoffs this past season was very, very exciting. So yeah, that's my big thing. I watch football too, but the Bombers suck, and I don't have a favorite NFL team, but I like to watch it.
Yeah, I'm a big NFL fan, big NHL fan.
I can't get into NFL.
No,
I have tried, and
even in Texas.
Yeah, I
NFL
mean,
is the most boring sport ever.
Hey, calm down there.
They stop play completely every 30 seconds.
No, I totally agree. That is the point I was going to make. If you're a soccer fan, then I don't really see. I mean, you can be a fan of whatever you like, but what Josh just said there, yeah, that nails it on the head for me. There's no flow to the game. There is, but for 3 or 4 seconds, and then it just stops again. And then the team totally changes, and it's just, what the fuck is going on?
It's better than baseball. At least the NFL is rigidly timed. You know you're getting into a 2-hour game, and you be home in time for whatever you want to watch later.
I get that, but I do like cricket. But only if it's a one-day match, not a test match where it goes on for 4 days.
Right.
In fact, technically it could go on for as long as it needed to. And I think the world record for a cricket match is, it goes in, I wouldn't like to say it goes on for days. It's like they will call an end to it at the end of the night and then it'll start again in the morning and it goes on forever. And it can get tediously dull. It's like watching snooker.
Fuck those pastoral games. God damn.
You don't like snooker? What are you trying to say?
I've never heard of snooker.
That's pool.
Goodness.
Billiards.
Okay.
It's a bit like that. It's not billiards, but it's similar. It's played on a similar sized table. It's like pool, but a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The sports that people play in this country are just weird. I don't know. There is, at least I'm glad soccer is taking off in this country, because that to me is a beautiful game. I'm sure Devin would agree.
Well, because you're English.
No, Devin's not English and he loves it. Gad Sad loves it and he's a Lebanese. So, you know, I think it's if I'm watching a sport like UFC's on right now, and I'm watching a woman punch the shit out of somebody else. Fuck me.
I like UFC and hockey because someone's going home bloody at the end of the night.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. I like boxing. I like kickboxing. I like stuff like that. But NFL, I don't know.
What does it?
Here's my thing about the NFL. The injuries in the NFL are complete and total bullshit. You're going to get head trauma from getting tackled by someone who weighs like 600 pounds hitting you with the force of a small compact car. And that's going to do damage that's going to take you out of the game for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've played football in high school. It's a wickedly dangerous sport.
Well, it's no more dangerous than rugby.
I mean, the padding protects you, but it also makes you heavier when you get hit.
The padding is used as a weapon.
But you look at some of those fat fucks playing that game. They're not athletes. They're just there because they weigh 400 pounds.
Well, some of the linemen.
Yeah, I mean, they can't run. It's like they'll have an oxygen tank in the middle of the play.
Well, the linemen don't have to run. Their job is to stand there and get hit.
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. They've got all these stupid names like linebackers, and I know what a quarterback does. That's about it. That's the guy that throws the ball to another guy, and then the other guy tries to run.
I know what a quarterback and I know what a linebacker does, and that is as far as I want to dig into football.
You with me, Josh? I'm totally all over you, dude.
I brought up the sport, so I apologize.
No, you're absolutely fine. Anything goes.
But one more thing there. That's why hockey's the best game in the world to watch.
Here we go.
Fast. It's a Quicksilver ballet.
Well,
Quicksilver ballet.
It is. Hockey is a fun game to watch.
I agree.
They don't have the breaks that you get in football where they're stopping play for 5 minutes every 30 seconds. They don't have the incessant interjection of advertisers every 5 minutes on top of that. At some point, you're guaranteed someone's going to take off their skate and try to stab somebody else.
Yeah, which is fantastic. When you throw those gloves off, dude, and they're wailing on each other, that's the best bit. I mean, in all seriousness, hockey as a sport takes a lot of freaking skill. Must take a lot of skill.
My best friend was a goalie for like 17 years. He did it through high school and the first couple of years of college, and the dude is in probably the best physical shape of anybody you'll ever meet. Just because as a goalie, you are on your feet the entire time. They only have typically 2 or 3 goalies, and they like to keep the best one out there unless he's too tired to keep going.
That's right. And it's a lot of pressure on those kids.
Yeah. We're not going to give Josh a hard time because he has a child.
You can give me a hard time all you want. I might give you shit back.
Well, when I was on the hangout with Devin, when the hell was it? Was it a couple of weeks ago? Anyway, yeah, my daughter was there, but she was shy. She was just like all Google-eyed and just watching what was going on.
Sure.
But she was 2. She's 2. You know, I'm sure if my son was there, he wouldn't be able to shut up.
Yeah.
Because that's what kids do.
My kid's 2.5. And...
Right. Well, there you go. It's like they've learned how to use the tongue in a way that makes noises.
Right.
I feel you. Don't worry about it.
I'm actually going to have to pause here for a second because my children are just absolutely screaming upstairs. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
That seems to be the theme.
Yeah. Hey, Liquid, you there?
I'm here.
I love it. I was watching some of your videos earlier. I've got to say, I really enjoy your the background music that you choose for your videos.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's hilarious.
I'm a bit of a music file, so that's a big part of my videos. I love the music in the background.
I can hear that completely. That you love music. I watched the Elvis Presley one again. Every time I watch it, dude, I can't help but smile. It's like, I fucking love this.
It was my tribute to Devin.
I know. I wonder if he's ever seen it. I don't know. He never commented on it, but maybe he has. I hope he has, because I just thought it was really, really smart, especially when you've incorporated his head into the video in a really like professional way. I was blown away by that. I thought it was so well done.
Well, thanks very much. Yeah, and his fans enjoyed it, so I was over the moon.
Yeah. It's always nice to get a bit of recognition for something you've done like that.
Yep.
Because you've only been doing this for like 3 months.
I started. Is that right? April 1st was my first video.
And is it fair to say that Devin inspired you to start creating your own stuff?
He was the one and only inspiration.
I hope you hear that, Devin, because I think that's fucking amazing, personally.
I don't think I'm the only one. You look around at the atheist community, you see a lot of inspiration from Devin's videos.
Yeah, I don't even... It's funny you should say that, right? Because, you say the words atheist community, and I don't want to be a part of any of that, really. if that makes any sense. I'd like to be a completely separate part of everybody else.
I like to think we've kind of carved out our own sense of community here. Like we're all communally atheists, but we're not really an atheist community. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. Like we've said before, it's like, you've discovered there's no God. I mean, there's a bad. Carry on with your life.
That's the obvious question right there.
Exactly.
You can have a lot of different opinions about the world and share that one common view, right?
That's right. That's right. And I was talking this morning that if it's people like Steve Shives, for instance. Now, I don't know if you heard.
Fuck Steve Shives.
Yeah, but that we couldn't get a screen sharing thing to go on, and I would have loved it if we could have done. But there's a video that he did called Intersectional. And,
I haven't seen it.
Please, I mean, if you want to waste 16, well, you don't waste 16 minutes of your life if you can avoid it. Skip to the first 3 minutes, watch a couple of minutes, and then jump to 8 minutes, where he wants to get all atheists together so that we can tell black people how much we love them.
He's a proponent of Atheist Plus, is he not?
Is that even a thing anymore? But he is an
I think he was a
intersectional
part
feminist.
of it. Yeah, he's an intersectional feminist. That's the most annoying thing about him.
Oh my god.
Here's 5 more stupid things about Steve Shives.
That would be a good video to make, but I'm sure he'd make it himself, just to be like self-deprecating.
Oh yeah, because that gives you instant popularity and more Patreon dollars.
Yeah. I mean, that fuckbag has got 55,000 subs on YouTube.
Wow.
Which, doesn't mean anything, does it? That doesn't mean anything.
No.
But it does annoy me slightly that he might
I'd like to have 55,000 subs.
I'm sure you would.
I am completely indifferent, but I'm not a YouTube content creator.
Exactly, and neither am I. This is literally... Well, actually, this is going to be my 3rd YouTube video. The first one being my daughter wearing a Samsung Gear 2 watch that I was asked to demo for work, and some lightning that I just happened to have my iPad in my hands, and I just videoed some lightning. And that's the only thing I've ever done. I'm not interested in being popular. I'm not interested in fame or anything like that. I am interested in talking about things. And if that gets you popularity as a side issue, then whatever. I'm not.
Well, I'm not seeking popularity, but I am seeking to connect with like-minded people, and Devin's videos are a good rallying point for a certain openness.
Exactly. Yes, and he's definitely been like a magnet to people of similar ilk.
That's right. But I think Sam Harris had it right when he said, don't even call yourselves atheists. It just doesn't serve a purpose. You don't call yourself a non-astrologer.
That's correct. I do see a kangaroo in the chat.
Is that the man?
I've been listening to you guys.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What is this? What is happening here?
You
joined the Love Fest.
Yeah.
This is something that I organised, Devin. I don't know if I told you or not.
It's a mutiny.
This is awesome.
No,
man.
I spoke to Crush, I spoke to Josh, and I spoke to Liquid, and a few other people. I just decided to get. Well, I asked them if they would come together today. I've already spoken to all these people on the telephone.
There we go.
Like on the real telephone.
These guys are famous, man. I know them. I see them in my comments and for a long time. And it's weird, like when you read through the comments, you associate their picture and their name with a feeling, like just a general feeling.
Right.
And like, I definitely am expecting. I'm in a certain mood when I see these people's names.
And what mood does it give you, Devin?
Well, I get moist.
He gets a semi.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Crush earlier this week, and we had a very interesting conversation, didn't we? Would you want to share some of that, Crush, if you can remember what it was about?
You're cutting out. I couldn't hear what you said there.
Okay, I was saying that when I called you earlier this week, we were having a very good conversation. I'm trying to remember what it was about. I know it was about Devon, but it was something about.
Well, I was just saying. I think that it's the entertainment aspect of his videos aside. I think what is really, really fantastic and important is that a lot of people they call themselves atheists, so they think that they're smart, and they watch Jacqueline and Glenn's videos or TJ's videos, and they think that that person's smart and that what they're hearing is always true. And you need someone like Devon to barge into the room and say, no, there's a lot of bullshit in there. Just because you're atheist doesn't mean you're right about everything else.
Devin doesn't just barge into the room. He comes in, flips over a table, and throws a glass at somebody.
Like Jesus.
Down.
I'm not in here to make friends, I don't think.
Yeah.
He is the boogie of new atheism.
Hey, Devin.
Yeah.
Drew really wants to join this hangout, but I think it's raining heavily in Houston, and he has his electric's gone out, and he has water pouring down his wall. So
What a day! What a day! Do you realize in the last 2 days I went from doing a hangout on my channel with 220 viewers to doing a hangout with about 20 viewers to doing this hangout with 1 viewer.
it has 2. It's got 2. I know you were one of them.
I think that's me. That's me. Man, I'm on a roll, man.
You're on fire, dude. You're on
I
fire.
got a new agent.
Well, I
Let's
was
get
kind
Game Gangster in here.
No. Yeah, we could do that. That would be
Oh, dude,
awesome.
What
That
that little
guy's been- That guy just posted a 15-minute video in response to me, and he's been hitting me up on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Hitler and Dirty Niggers.
Yeah, I've seen that. Have you not seen that?
Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
I almost reported him. I almost reported him on Twitter because I think that's totally out of order.
Well,
I mean-
it must be new because he only has 145 tweets. He's got
Yeah.
13 followers.
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I had to. I will say. Well, you probably heard me, Devin. I had to rewatch the video that you did, just for the way he mispronounces atheism is unstoppable. Which I'm one of the 20%. I can say it.
You can say it.
Atheism
I
is
can say it.
unstoppable.
Atheism is unstoppable. It's not difficult.
Okay, well,
It is for you, Devin. But I mean, you shouldn't have named your channel such a dumb name.
you know, the first time I ever said it was on my Patreon video that I made, and I fucked that up.
You have a Patreon video?
Yeah,
Do you?
that's the way you do it. You put a video up there. Otherwise,
I just went and started giving you money, Devin. It didn't take
Oh,
much
really?
convincing.
wow, you just cut to the chase.
Well, why the fuck not, dude? At one point, I was giving you. When I was a sales
I'll be
rep,
right
I was
back.
giving you. Okay, when I was a sales rep, I was giving you $20 a month,
Nice.
and now I've been promoted. I'm only giving you 5. So, because I've had to take a pay cut.
Ah, damn it.
I know.
Well,
So, Devin, I really appreciate you joining us, dude. I don't know how much time you've got. I know you were in the process of moving today.
yeah. Well, I'm happy to barge in, but don't let me domineer. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Absolutely. Have you seen Liquid Demons videos, Devin?
I've seen. Did he do the one about Elvis? Wait, what's
Yes.
the one I posted?
Yeah, the Elvis one.
Yeah. No, that's great.
You
What
like
was
that
the
one?
one?
I thought it was awesome.
Wait, I posted one, but then I took it down. What was the reason on that?
That was the
violent one.
Yeah.
It was you were stabbing everyone.
Oh, right. I love that. I mean, but
That was
You know what?
awesome. Oh my God, I loved watching that.
the thing is that we live in a world where you can get a strike for no reason whatsoever. You know, like
You've gotten
And the-
like 6 for no reason.
exactly. And Sargon of Akkad just got a strike, and he's like starting
I
a new
saw.
channel, and
Yeah, where was
It's a
that? He's starting a new channel?
yeah, it's a night. Well, for his live streams.
Oh, wow. What did he get a strike for? Was it from Fox News or something?
Fox
Yeah,
News. They content struck
Fuck
him.
those guys. Fuck those guys.
It's so out of control because all you have to do is take the video down. I mean, you don't have to be punitive and actually give a guy a strike.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's but I suppose you'll get. It's not one person that's doing it, though, is it? I would imagine it's lawyers, attorneys, I guess, that do it or something. I know the company that we work for. We have a social media team. That all they ever do, they will just troll the internet looking for keywords that are associated to the company I work for. And if we find anything defamatory or anything like that, they'll be on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
think-
it's. Go ahead.
I was going to say the thing is I steal 100% of my content from online. There's like not even 1% original content. So
I was saying earlier, I'd love to know how you got Devin's head in that thing. I mean, from a technical standpoint, that just looks so difficult. I can't understand how you guys do it. I mean, it's
A magician never reveals his tricks.
exactly right. Exactly.
No, you know what's funny?
Either that or Google After Effects.
I think early on, if you have a channel with not many subscribers, you can just do whatever you want. Like, I remember I did a Sarah Palin video. It was like my 5th video, and like I must have broken about 100 different copyright laws on that thing. Like it was straight up just taking movie clips and songs.
Oh
and just,
yeah, I remember that one.
It wasn't even close. I was putting chunks of Silence of the Lambs in there. It was just like out of control.
Did you change it?
No. I mean, I think they've changed the policy as they've gone along, but basically they don't care if it doesn't get any views.
I mean,
I think if you're under something like 100 subscribers, they just don't bother hitting you
Yeah.
unless you're blatantly abusing music. Like I've had a couple of videos.
I should stay unpopular then. Then I can do whatever I want.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
It also matters if you're monetizing your channel, like if you've got AdSense turned on, or
Yeah, sometimes I'll get the third party for if I use some music or something.
Yeah, I didn't monetize any of my. I was amazed when I had to. I had a YouTube account and a Google account and everything, but then when I wanted to do this Hangout, you have to verify and connect the two things together, and then it gives you so much more information about analytics and monetizing. I didn't even know those things existed until like 2 days ago. I always thought, how did people get paid for making content on YouTube? Not that I'm interested in doing that, because I'm not. I just don't get the time. But I mean, for you, Devin, you're doing it because you do this shit as a job, right? Or should I say you used to do it before you got fired by everybody?
Before Pixar fired me?
How is it begging for change under the subway now that Pixar won't pay you money?
Yeah. I gotta scurry over to Warner Brothers, and it sucks.
It works.
Scraping the barrel now. Yeah, and that we kind of touched on that this morning, but I mean, that guy is. I've been thinking about him, and I can't quite get my head around whether he's trying to be funny, or if he's trying to be sarcastic, or if he's dead serious.
Is that the monkey guy you're talking about?
Yes, yeah, the monkey guy.
What a fucking crappy video.
Bewildered ape.
Shit, I know.
In the end, I hear what you're saying and all those questions, but for me, the thought is, who cares? That just rises to the top of my brain. Like, who cares about this guy?
Well, he doesn't say anything at all in the video.
Yeah. No, there's nothing. There's nothing to go on here. I'm right. Here's the painful truth, right? You know who nobody likes? Nobody likes a cocky guy. And what is a cocky guy? A cocky guy is a guy who has confidence, whether for good reasons or for bad. I have good reasons to be confident with my ideas because, and this might make everybody uncomfortable, they're right. I am right. Okay, like that really rubs people the wrong way. Like, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, like there could be a God. Put it that way. Like, I'm not wrong.
So you're agnostic on it then?
Yeah, right. I'm not. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a trigger for me too. Don't even say.
This hangout brought you with trigger warnings that have trigger warnings.
Is this like the atheist breeding convention here? You guys are all pumping out kids, eh?
I do have children, Devin, as you know, but mine are about 200 miles away right now.
Uh-huh.
Mine is past tense. I'm not in the business of producing more children.
Good.
Uh-huh. Only accidents from here on out.
My second one was an accident.
Not going to happen. I am divorced.
I cannot have any more, and that's a good thing.
There we go.
Is that like an accident with the heavy machinery, or what happened?
Yeah, this cock chopped off.
We're Canadian, so we get these procedures covered.
It is very cold as well. Yeah, fine. So I guess
Redefine blue balls.
Yeah, my wife keeps trying to push me into getting a vasectomy because we've got no intention of having any more kids. No intention at all.
Wait a minute. Let me ask the Canadians the question here. So I'm trying to get a sense of Canada. I just debated this Edmontonian guy. What was your take on him?
I'll go first if I may.
Sure.
See, wait a minute. That is so Canadian right there already. Holy shit.
May I go first?
Go ahead.
Don't mistake our politeness for weakness.
I've seen hockey. I've seen hockey.
Josh concealed something, I think, in the debate, if you can call it that. But he did not address the fact that in Canada we have a native population that makes up 4% of the population, but represents 18% of the prison population.
Oh.
And that commonality...
He would say there are reasons to that. He would say that's because of poverty and drinking or whatever.
Yes, he would, and he'd be, those reasons are valid, but that doesn't change the statistic. The statistic is a fact, and knowing that information doesn't make anybody anything.
Right. I mean, what he wants to do there is not leave it at the statistic, because that's blaming somebody of color for their actions, which, I mean, sounds reasonable, but no, you can't do that. You have to go back in time until the Canadians marched in there with their Mounties or however they did it and killed everybody. I mean, I don't know if you guys are as good
so
at
fucking
genocide.
racist
They
against
weren't Canadians, they were French.
Right.
Coming with the Mounties and stuff.
No, but there are ways to do that. You can make a response video to Devin Tracy and say, you know, let's further this conversation into factors. You guys, come on, I'm trying to talk.
Okay, but
I'm
the,
sorry,
the
guys.
reason
Yours too?
the reason I had a problem with him was he never acknowledged why we are going into the reasons. Like, what is the point of discussing why? Like,
I think
that's
as a
right?
Canadian, you don't have a grasp of what's going on down the States. There's, like, he was totally out of his league. There's the population, like the black people up in Canada is like 5% or something. I mean, he didn't know what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, understandably so. I think we talked about that this morning as well. I bet he's never been out of Canada. He might have visited Minnesota or somewhere like that. But I bet he's never travelled. Well, he might have been to Florida on vacation, but I bet he's never left that landmass and travelled to Europe or Asia or anywhere like that. That's clearly evident. I'm sorry, Devin, go ahead.
Do you guys know anything about is Windsor the city next to Detroit?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have you guys ever done the whole Detroit-Windsor sort of?
I've been to Detroit and I've been to Windsor, and it's like night and day.
Right. I mean, isn't that the most awkward, like, little square mile in the world? Just based on how successful one city is versus the other?
Could you explain? Could you explain what that is? Because I've got no idea.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody.
Yes.
Jump in.
Well, Windsor is right across, I guess, the border. I don't know if there's any. I guess there's a little bit of water in between the two cities. Detroit is like a cesspool, and Windsor
Detroit
is
isn't
just
like a cesspool, it is a cesspool.
Windsor is a typical Canadian city, and like people from Detroit go to Windsor like to feel human again.
Why?
But so it's just vastly superior. But also, I'm looking at a map here. Dearborn is right next to Detroit, which is the Muslim center of the U.S. And I don't know how good of a city that is, but I'm guessing it's not Shangri-La.
Dearborn's actually a pretty nice place.
Really?
Yeah, I had some family that was up there. Dearborn's actually a pretty nice city.
How do you know it's the Muslim capital? What?
Oh, there's more Muslims in Dearborn than any other city in America.
Is that a published stat?
That's
Well-
weird. I didn't think Muslims liked the cold.
Yeah, no, it's just, some Muslims they got a foothold there, and then they just invited their friends and 10,000 cousins, and then they started breeding, and that was the end
Let's
of
be
it.
honest, they just bred. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing they're very good at. I've got that nailed.
The average Western family has 2 kids. The average Muslim family has no fewer than 5. Come on.
Well, actually, my next door neighbors are a Muslim family, and they have 2.
I was just about to ask you, Crescendo, what would be the Muslim population in Winnipeg?
It's not significant, but we have a few mosques, and it's very quiet, like any other type of religious group in our community.
Yeah, it's the same in Ottawa. There's no hassle with Islamic, Muslim, anything.
No.
I was watching that guy that you recommended, Devin, on your Australia video, that Jam Fairs, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to that video, and he said when the Muslim population gets over 5%, that's usually when the problems start. And I gave out an incorrect stat on that last hang I was with. I said I thought Bradford was over white people were the minority. And that's not actually the case. It's still something like 24.7% Muslim in Bradford.
Oh, but you feel it.
Gone way beyond the 5%.
Over the
believe me,
tipping point.
Oh, it's ridiculous, dude. If you live, I'll give you one example, okay? When my son was first born, so we're talking 6 years ago, and me and my wife and my son were all living in England. I had my son strapped to me. He was only like 4 months old. I had him strapped to the front of me on one of those nerdy friggin' baby carrier things. And we were just walking through the park. It was a nice sunny day. And, we were just walking hand in hand with the baby. We were just feeling all nice, lovely and everything. And there's this young Pakistani fella walking towards us, walking like, how would I describe it? Like walking towards us like a black gangster would, with that swagger, You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right?
I know what
And
you're
he's
saying.
walking towards me, and he pulls up his t-shirt to reveal a handgun tucked down the front of his pants.
What in the world?
And this is walking through a park in the town that I lived in. Now, it's probably a fake gun, right? Could be a fake gun, but I had no means of knowing. So, I mean,
Why would you-
what the fuck do you do at that point? Yeah, and that was in broad daylight in a well-built-up area. It's just, and they don't give a shit. They really don't care. They want to play that intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
I used to volunteer at a boys and girls shelter in Indianapolis, and just walking around the surrounding community was a terrifying experience. I mean, Indianapolis is a nice city, but there are pockets where it gets scary really fast. And I stopped volunteering there when I went to work one day, and the windows were shot up. And this is a shelter for kids who are, under 12. And you walk in, there's bullet holes in the window, and there's broken glass, and the refrigerator's been raided, and there's nothing of value left in the building. That was.
So are you a small town guy, Josh, or a big city guy?
I have grown up in rural areas. I am attracted to urban environments, but I've always lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I've traveled a bit down the states. I say this humbly, but I've never been to an American city I would consider living in.
There are definitely scary pockets. It really depends on where you are. I like the suburban cities better than the actual concentrated, your New Yorks, your San Franciscos, Dallas, Fort Worth, Indianapolis. They scare me.
I lived in Fort Worth. I mean, when I first moved to this country, we lived in a town with less than 10,000 people. And then we moved to Fort Worth, or a suburb of Fort Worth, where you've got well over 1 million people living. And I'm used to living in big cities. I mean, I say Bradford, where I used to live, isn't a big geographical area, but it is jam-packed with people. And I think a lot of people who've never traveled outside of Texas, for instance, well, I mean, Texas has a population of 60 million people, but it is 4 times bigger than the entire area of the UK. And the population of the UK is the same. So if you get what I'm saying there, everybody's on top of each other. I mean, Devon, having said that, Devon, when I saw where you were in London, I don't know whether you would have experienced that or not, because you were in fucking Wimbledon, which is somewhat Putney or whatever you were. I mean, it's just that you were in nice areas of London. And obviously your family is well-educated and well-spoken and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, even in the nice areas, though, it's still wall to wall. I mean, it's still jammed.
Yes. Yeah,
London has been filled up for hundreds of years. I mean,
do you like London? Because I can't stand it.
Well, I love the charm of it. I love the details. I love the energy.
Oldness.
But yeah, just the crowded shit. I don't think humans were meant to be congregated in multiple millions of people.
No,
we're
chicken.
hunter-gatherers. I mean, this is ridiculous what we've set up here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the 14th and 15th centuries of disease taught us anything, it was that we weren't supposed to be that close together.
So are they doing anything to try and control the population in London, or they're just letting it run wild?
Well, in England in general, no, they're not, and that's a massive problem. But if you
But they're blocking the English Channel, right?
Well,
yes,
the jihadis,
that's in Calais.
The jihadis are helping out with the population control.
Well, yeah, they are. They're killing their own. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Lee Rigby was going to be a parent.
Oh.
So why don't they just charter flights for people who want to go join ISIS? Just charter flights right to Syria, and then as soon as they land, bomb the fucking plane. I don't understand.
You know, the sad thing is, here in Germany, you got the Turkish population here, and so they are constantly flying back to Istanbul, and it's no big deal. It's totally normal to fly to Turkey, and that's how you get to Syria. You just go to Turkey, and you basically just walk across the border, and it's not a big deal over there. So
Right.
it's hard to track these people. That's why I can't even tell people what city I'm in anymore, because I'm afraid of the friggin' ISIS supporters in Germany.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, in Germany, I mean, it's entirely different. That's one place I've never actually been. I've never been to Germany, and I've never been to Italy, but they're like the only 2 major countries in Europe I've never been to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to France and Spain, and Greece, and
Have you done Czech Republic?
I haven't. I've never been to Prague or anywhere like that either. But I've heard Prague is supposed to be beautiful, but I've never been.
It's one of my favorite places. I've been there like 5 times, but it is the most atheistic country in the world, oddly
Yes.
enough.
Yeah.
Like that is a surprise. I never would have expected the Czech Republic to slip in.
Hey Devin, could you for some reason Twitter isn't allowing me to direct message anybody. I've no idea why, but could you send Drew a direct message with the link for the Hangout to see if he can join? Because he's using an iPhone, so I know he can do it through his phone.
Well, I'd like to ask Devin a question while
Mhm.
we do that. Given the extensiveness of the Australian series that you've done, is that still a leading candidate for where you'd want to live?
Oh yeah. It wouldn't affect that at all. I mean, it's still scary and it's something that's important, but I've done a lot of research, and I went down and visited Sydney last year, and that's not even the city I have my eye on. Melbourne is the one that has been on the top of my radar. But no, across the board, you cannot go wrong with Australia. It's just that they're trying to nip this thing in the bud. They don't want to get to England levels or Sweden level, God forbid. But still, as far as quality of life and stuff, standard of living, you cannot do better.
I think that's probably because both Ken and Ray expatriated.
Yeah, right. But I mean, Canada is the same thing, and the only reason Canada doesn't get my sort of attention is the weather, strictly.
Come on,
the weather.
be a big hockey star.
West Coast is pretty nice.
Yeah,
I've never seen Devin with a suntan, so I mean I don't know what he's talking about.
and I was up in Tacoma recently, and I lived there a couple months watching the World Cup, and I was going to go to Vancouver. Do you guys like it? Do you recommend it?
Vancouver's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What about the riots? What about the riots they had there?
Those are sports riots.
White people riots.
We take our hockey
white
seriously.
Yeah, it's just over-enthusiastic fans.
Has the pendulum swung back to Canadian hockey teams winning the cup?
Absolutely, all the time. We're number one.
But like Detroit, Chicago, Boston, these other.
Oh, the Stanley Cup. Pardon me. I thought you meant to win it's Canadians versus Americans versus Swedes. Then we always win.
Okay.
In international hockey, we always win.
Yeah, that's what we tell ourselves anyway.
But the Canadian teams in the NHL, it doesn't really matter. They're part American, part Canadian. The Canadian players go play in the U.S. There's Russians. There's people from all over the world.
Yeah, we haven't won a Stanley Cup in 20, 25 years.
It's been a while.
But like, if you're a guy living in Canada and you support the Mighty Ducks, do people like look at you funny, or it doesn't happen?
Well, I live in Ottawa, so I support the Ottawa Senators.
And they have not won anything for a while.
For about 70 years.
70? Oh my God, it's amazing.
So they're the Canadian Cubs.
Are they the worst team in the entire thing?
Well, they only rejoined the NHL about 20 years ago, I guess. So no, not. They're a good club.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Has anybody ever been to Lake Tahoe?
Yeah.
My wife's trying to get me to go there on a vacation. Is it nice?
Yeah, we used to drive over there from Berkeley for like spring break and to gamble, and beautiful. I mean, it's
She wants
skiing,
to go in February.
Yeah. Could do it.
I've never been skiing. I'd love to do that. Okay.
Well, you're bypassing Vegas to get there.
I'm sorry, Devin, say again.
Are you driving there? Because then you're going right through Vegas.
Oh, well, that's another place I'd love to go.
You've never been to Vegas? Oh my God! Stop the press. Go
I've
to
been to
Vegas.
Vegas twice. You need to go, man.
I know. It's having the money to do it. Like I was saying earlier, when I was a rep, I
didn't have money, and I went there twice.
I had almost $90,000 last year.
Mhm.
I was going out for lunch and spending $100 and not even caring about it. I'm not in that position anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing that job, I decided to buy a $200,000 house and a $30,000 car, which was no problem. But now I'm financially struggling somewhat.
Mm.
But these things happen. But yeah, we're gonna go to Lake Tahoe apparently.
For how long?
3 or 4 nights apparently.
Mm.
This is according to my wife that's messaging me right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it sounds nice. I'll have to look it up.
Well, I'm thinking about taking a flight back to the States to visit family, but also to go to Vegas to see my Conor McGregor fight in Vegas.
I think I'm watching him right now on TV.
Oh, yeah?
Some recorded thing? No, that's not Conor McGregor. It's some fat bald guy fighting a other guy. I don't know. You talk about UFC, Devin, and I don't know. I don't really know what you're talking about because I've never really watched UFC.
Yeah, I can't understand that. You got to tap into your inner primate.
I used to do Muay Thai, so I'm familiar with it. I mean, I know this isn't just Muay Thai; it's a combination of all different styles, but it looks nice. You don't get many beta type males in the octagon.
No beta.
No.
Octagon.
But back to the
before they get to the octagon.
yeah, they're cracking down on that. But back to the Australia thing. I think the problems in Australia are like the best part of the first world type problems. You know, it doesn't really, they don't compare to other countries' problems.
These problems are having with Muslims, though. I mean, until you started releasing those videos, I figured Australia was just like an idyllic place, like I always imagined it was.
But what's up with the Nazis down there? You got all these skinheads like just roaming around Australia.
There's a huge biker culture down there, right?
Yeah.
Hell's Angels and the like.
They're just like sort of, I don't know what the word is to describe them. I think we all have them. They're people that don't live near water. They're just like, they're not educated, and I don't know. There's a bunch of them down there. It's depressing.
I have another guy wanting to get in. Is I think you'll have heard of him, Devin, Mr. Joshua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bring him in.
A second. Yeah, just keep talking. Let me sort this out.
We'll have two Joshes then. That'll be confusing.
We'll call him Mr. Joshua. How's that? Or
going back to something you just said, Devin. Australia has the best of the worst first world problems. Would you consider a Muslim infestation the best of the worst?
I mean, it could be worse. Like put it this way: if America had 2% Muslim population, we would be having a whole different conversation right now. You know, 2%, 0.8% to 2% doesn't seem like a lot. It is a lot, and especially if they're congregated.
We have now is already willing to drive 1,900 miles to shoot some people. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You know, if you count up all the terror attacks starting from September 12th, 2001.
That was such fucking bullshit. Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
You know what a lot of these guys try to do? They don't talk about death. They don't talk about the number of deaths, which is what we really care about. They talk about just number of incidents. So a guy blowing up a firecracker to get back at his tax attorney in a building that's joined to an NAACP building, that's a terror attack.
That actually just happened in Winnipeg.
Oh, really?
A crazy guy just sent a bunch of letter bombs to law offices in Winnipeg to get back at his wife.
Well, can we blame him?
I would like to take that course of action, but
Can we blame him? Yeah, we can.
We didn't call it terrorism.
See, I'm willing to ask the daring questions.
Yeah.
Balls of steel.
All you guys are married, huh?
I am. No, Josh isn't. Josh is divorced.
I'm divorced, but I was married.
Now, did you have a divorce celebration of any kind? What was that like?
I have been.
It was 6 months of binge drinking and bad decisions.
So there was not like a bachelor party, but post, because that would be an even better bachelor party, really.
That would require friends, and I don't really have friends.
Oh.
I don't either. I don't either. I find it very difficult to make new friends.
I have one friend. He's been my best friend for 17 years, and I just can't get close to anybody else.
There should be a Match.com for like bromances. Just
oh
to go
God!
I think this is it. This is it, man.
This hangout.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the bromance.
I'll be your
my
buddy.
verse of Stalin.
Well, I found it, Devin. I found it quite enlightening this week while I was in Dallas and stuff. I called, and I mean on the telephone, not on the internet or anything, like in real life. I called Crush, I called Josh, and I called Liquid, and we had conversations in real life before we did this.
He phoned me from a landline.
It was a cell phone.
That's personal, man. That's like second base.
All three of these guys have my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. So.
Oh my God, they're gonna dox your ass.
I'm terrified. They also knew who I work for. I could get that changed in about 5 seconds flat. So I'm not bothered about that.
Well, yeah, when I was in London, I went out with Luke for drinks, and that was the first time I'd ever engaged with any subscriber in like a real physical way.
Yeah, how did that work out? Because I mean, obviously we've talked to Luke and stuff, and he seems totally cool. But I mean, was it a little bit weird for you? Did you meet him in a pub or something, or what?
Yeah, we met at a pub in East Putney, and then we started popping around to different pubs because they closed pretty early. I was surprised in London.
Really?
But Yeah, we were
I thought he had,
drinking. He
like,
doesn't.
24-hour license.
Yeah, not on a weekday. It was strange. So yeah, we popped around and had some drinks and just chatted it up, and it was good. You know, I
Do you
trust him
like
because
drinking? Because oh,
um
the impression I get of you, Devon, is that you're quite clean living. I mean, we all know that
yeah,
you've never even smoked weed. I
right.
imagine you have like 2 drinks and stop. Would that be about right?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a phase, obviously, when I was younger, when I was just drinking massive amounts of Jaeger and partying. But, you know, I chilled out on that. In fact, I didn't start drinking until I was 21. So I was like real straight edge. You
I
know,
didn't smoke
25.
weed. I didn't smoke any weed until I was 24.
really.
Yeah, but then I've taken MDMA and all kinds of things in the past. In
Yeah, I
my
mean,
20s through the 30s, I did the I didn't do the Sam Harris thing, but when Sam Harris talks about psychedelics, I imagine that you, Devon, have got some kind of disconnect there because you can't really
right.
understand what he's getting at. Now, I
Well,
do understand what he's getting at there. When he talks about him and his friend sat on the
mhm.
opposite ends of the couch, having that low feeling and all that, I can totally get where he's coming from.
I'm feeling that right now.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I think intoxicating your brain with alcohol is sort of gives you a sort of hint of what it means to sort of poison your brain and enjoy the effects of that. But I'm not sure how much cosmic wisdom comes from that. You know, like I don't think I
Not
need
from
to go
drinking
take.
alcohol.
None.
No, I'm saying any of these drugs. So if I go down to
No. Mm-hmm.
if I go
Okay.
to Peru and take ayahuasca, I'm not expecting to come back with an explanation of, you know, dark matter.
Well, for you, Devon, because you're already into your 40s, it's not going to radically change who you are. But I took MDMA when I was like 25, and it did have it had a profound effect on how I have an outlook on life and how I view other people. But it's not. But ecstasy is not addictive. It's not something. Oh my God, I need that feeling again. It's not like that. But it just opens a different doorway that you didn't even realize was there within your own brain.
Hmm.
It's a very enlightening experience, and I would recommend it to anybody, even if it's just once, if you're in the right company and in the right location and you feel comfortable.
Well,
It's not a nasty thing to do. It's expanding. Now, I have taken LSD. I've taken LSD once, and I wouldn't recommend that to anybody because that can mess you up. MDMA can. It's not. It's not going to kill you, really.
well, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Throw that on the packaging.
It won't kill you. Make a T-shirt out of that.
Hey,
Yeah.
very,
Definitely won't kill you, but you will see through time.
It's not even that. It's that. What Sam was getting at there. That feeling of I can't even explain it, dude. But I mean, Sam explains it so much better. You can tell this guy has taken drugs. You can tell he's in a when he talks about those kind of experiences, he's fuck. I mean, he's just out there. I love that guy.
Yeah, you're not going to get an argument from me on that.
No, I don't think so. Are you going to? Did you see somebody posted to Sam last night a video that somebody had put together about Reza Aslan that he wanted for Christmas? And somebody said, "Oh, here's your Christmas present," and I tweeted Sam. I says, "That's just merely a starter.
Yeah, that was this Jewish girl who's a subscriber of mine who's like an erotic model, and I told her to send me a tit pic, but she has not sent one yet. I mean,
Wow,
what's the point of having a YouTube channel if you cannot wield your power and get
exactly.
naked subscribers?
Has she not seen what you look like, Devon? Fuck, stupid woman.
Yeah, right. What the heck? It's one of my favorite things is the why do you hide behind a kangaroo, pussy?
Oh yeah, and people calling you a kangaroo.
Yeah, they get off on that, man. That's all they want. They want like creationist cat shit. They want to be entertained. They want like a little cartoon. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nobody thinks creationist cat is actually a cat. I presume.
I feel like it's just children who are just looking for, I don't know, white noise just to fill their lives with.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to be totally honest here. I used to like creationist cat. He has made some videos that are quite funny. Okay, I'll be totally honest. He has made some videos that are quite funny. But he just made a massive mistake sending that one tweet out. And at that point, that was the point where I stood in front of him and got in his face about it.
Well, as far as I can tell, he doesn't talk about anything. He's just making hacky, lame jokes. I mean, so the minute he starts espousing his actual beliefs, then you say, okay, wait a minute, who is this guy? I disagree with all these things he's saying.
Yeah. It's basically a feel-good channel.
Right. And there's a time and place for that.
Exactly, but as a character on YouTube that is, obviously portraying a character, not like Devon, he's just using it as an avatar. But Creationist Cat, that is his shtick. That is what he is, right? He's trying to play a cat and blah blah blah. We know the thing, right? Now, once he steps out of that, and that's the mistake he made. He made the mistake of saying something that Creationist Cat, in air quotes, wouldn't have ever said, and that is the mistake. I knew once he said that he'd made a massive mistake.
Yeah.
And I wish
his video was the most lame shotgun, desperate attempt to just slander me. Like he started by being mad that I revealed his name, and then he just went into a scattered analysis of everything I've ever talked about. It was the most bizarre thing. It was like, oh, and by the way, you're a fan of the Lakers? The Lakers aren't even the best team. They didn't even make the playoffs this year, so fuck you on that. And AJ Plus, you think they're working with the Young Turks? You're a fucking idiot. And it was just like bizarre. It was like Tourette's. I didn't understand it.
He obviously wasn't familiar with your channel.
No.
He was. No, he knows what you're about. He just wanted to jump on that little Jack and Glenn TJ bandwagon. That is all that is.
Yeah, it's just allegiances. It's allegiances to people, and it's actually more like being fame hungry. Like he likes the fact that he's friends with a F-list celebrity.
Yeah.
It's progressives versus new atheists.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't want to be called anything. We're trying to think of a name, and I'm like, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, should it be like the forward thinkers,
Should be the flying monkeys.
Yeah, I'll just stick with that. Yeah, I would stick with that because that is the name that is definitely propagated. I would love it. Can somebody Google flying monkeys and see if it comes up with anything with Devon? Because I've never done it. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how that got started.
Somebody do it right now, please.
I'll do it.
I think it was just me referencing the fact that I put an original link, and then all of you guys went there, and I said you went there as if I had commanded you, like you were the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz.
There was a video you did like 9 months ago where you were just saying, "Hey, my little monkeys fly," in your description box. Like you never said it in the video; it was just something down in your description box, and I think the name just stuck from there.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
But that's how successful memes get spread. It's like when you don't try and do it, it just happens.
You know what it is? It's all about animals. You got to bring up animals. That's why the fat brown buffalo will always be there.
I can't believe you got that trending in German Google.
Aliens.
There's nothing.
Aliens.
There's nothing about flying monkeys related to Devon on Google right now, but you got fat brown buffalo down pat, man.
Yeah, we need to get that flying monkey thing going on. Because, yeah, I know that I think is the essence of things, isn't it? If you can get that any kind of tiny little meme spread and just get it, go on.
There was some Aussie twat who was saying he took offense to me saying fat brown buffalo, and he broke it down. He goes, look, you can call somebody fat, that's fine. You can call somebody a buffalo even, it's questionable, but it's passable. But he goes, brown, but you called him brown, that's racist, dude, that's racist.
I love that fat brown buffalo wasn't even your original thought. That was just a video that you retweeted. I love that.
I don't know if anybody saw that photograph that I posted on my feed this week. Whereas I was on campus, right, with my company, and I was walking through this corridor, and there's a massive portrait of a big brown buffalo. I'd never even looked at it, but I looked at this thing, not even thinking about YouTube or atheism is unstoppable or anything, right? Walking past this picture, I'm like, that's a brown buffalo. I'm going to take a picture of that. With the hashtag fat brown buffalo.
It's so great. I mean, all this animal craziness. I remember people used to get mad at me because they thought I was from Australia, and they're like, "Oh fuck, you're not even Australian? Like, you've been lying to me this whole time." Like, you're not allowed to use a picture of a kangaroo unless you're Australian.
Yeah, and kangaroos don't just live in Australia. I think we've got kangaroos in Texas.
I'm sure they're in zoos everywhere, right? I mean, gotta claim some of them.
I'm sure they are.
I've got a kangaroo in the Indianapolis Zoo. I mean, they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
I just tweeted a monkey for us.
You did that, sorry.
Potential icon, like a logo.
Yeah, I was trying to retweet the Hangout, but I've got no idea how to do that. I can't even find the friggin' link. I'm such a noob at this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was painful. Did you see that hangout we were on today? That was just not going well.
Oh my
No.
God! What an abortion!
Yeah, Devin. Yeah. I mean, we've been going how long here? An hour and a half. We've been going an hour and a half here. Not with you, but I feel like this one's going a little bit better.
Well, the conversation was fine. It was just the fact that it was embarrassing that a bunch of adult males could not figure out how to.
Yeah, that tech thing, dude. I mean, I don't even know if you can successfully share a thing. I was hoping we could get Drew on because he does a podcast that is broadcast every week. Him and Coctopus Prime, who I really like, by the way. Well, yeah, what are your thoughts on that guy?
Yeah, I like a lot of what he says. I think he's entertaining, and I think he's a smart guy. But I think he has some regressive leanings and tendencies. Like he'll take the wrong side of certain. Like he's the first one to. No, we're talking Coctopus.
Oh, Coctopus, yeah.
Like he will talk about Iraq or like I think he's so hell bent on dogpiling on Christians because that's what he's surrounded by.
Yeah,
and like Christian Republicans.
Even worse.
But it's not just him. It's like the Young Turks and all these guys. They just love that. They love to dogpile on white Christians, and to pry them off of that narrative is almost impossible. So if I want to talk about Muslims, they're like, nah, but I still want to talk about Pat Robinson. He's still a fucking asshole.
Well, I mean, there has to be people out there that are calling this shit out. I mean, not everybody can be on the Islam thing, right?
Yeah.
So I have to say, Coctopus. I was a fan of Coctopus before I was a fan of you, Devin. I mean, sorry, but you didn't exist then. But I loved his stuff on Fox News and all that. He was like my go-to guy when I first moved to this country.
No, you could always beat down on Fox News, but is that really cutting edge? I mean, I
didn't know that at the time.
Okay,
but I mean,
how many times? You could literally, pick apart and analyze every video that Fox News puts out.
That's what Colbert and Jon Stewart.
Unless it's about Islam.
Yeah, that's basically what they do. Trump. I could do 25 videos in a row about Trump right now, but is that exciting to anybody intellectually?
No.
I'm totally confused about it because I can't vote, right? Because I'm not a citizen, so I'm not really that interested. People going about Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump and Jeb Bush and all these other people, right? And if I was voting, I wouldn't have a clue who to vote for.
Not Trump.
I get that because he's a fucking idiot, and not Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders seems like he doesn't have a pair.
It's going to be Hillary.
What else? Yeah, and you're saying, Devin, right? You would vote for Hillary Clinton.
Well, I'm totally disillusioned with politics, and I'm not.
I know you don't. I know you don't find it interesting.
I would vote. I would vote for an Obama, theocracy at this point. I mean,
I think the idea of Hillary in office scares me, just because I don't know how she's not in jail with how horribly she has abused all of her company assets, basically, because she's been involved with government work for her entire life now, and she's had a government phone, and she's dropped the ball how many times? I don't know how she's not in jail.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of smoke but no fire. It's like Benghazi, and like this email shit they're talking about. There's no story there.
Hitchens would spin in his grave if she got elected.
Hitch would? Yeah.
I think Hitchens would rise from the dead and bitch slap her if she got elected.
I was thinking about doing a video on Peter Hitchens, who continually spouts out nonsense and is just...
What a tard.
That is amazing.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he gets invited on these shows. He gets invited on shows like The Big Question, which is, I don't know where they shoot that. They must jump around England.
That's in England.
Yeah, but they go to different cities, but yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that big question, they have people like Douglas Murray and people like that on.
But the big questions, the topics are so painfully stupid and obvious that it reminds me of what I think Josh just said, which was, don't vote for Trump. Like imagine this question as a topic for a show. Should I vote for Donald Trump? Like, imagine that.
That's
like,
not
it's so
topic.
awkward. But even asking the question is an insult. Like, don't even answer. Just run away. Just run away.
So as far as so from my uneducated point of view, okay, My opinion is you don't want to vote for Donald Trump because he's an idiot.
And a Republican.
But people
that's an
will
insult
vote
to idiots. Mm-hmm.
The problem with Trump is that he is a business executive, which means he doesn't really do anything at all. He runs his company in the way that I run the stock market.
Yeah,
I
but he
run the
has.
stock market. What do you do, Josh? That sounds interesting.
I write software. I write software for doctors.
Yes, you do. Of course.
joke.
Yes, I remember that.
But he has no platform. He has horrible ideas. He has no experience in politics. I mean,
But people
Because
like the guy because he's outspoken, right?
No,
That is
no, I
what
don't
they get. That's what they like. Is that correct?
yeah.
You know what I think a lot of people don't
Why
know?
don't you run for president then, Devon?
Ask Sam Harris to.
I think a lot of people don't know this about Trump, but I used to be really big into watching wrestling on just WWE, and I think it's WWE now. He had this bit where he was on Raw like 10, 12 years ago, and he came out with Vince McMahon, and he was bragging about how he was going to run for president on Raw like 12 years ago.
Wow, those tapes are gonna be made live soon.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, he's really a jackass. He's really obnoxious. By the way, here's an insult for the Canadians. Who's the president of Canada right now? I have no idea.
You have a president?
Prime Minister. We don't have a
Yeah.
president. We have
Prime
a Prime
Minister.
Minister.
Prime
Who is
Minister
that guy?
Stephen Harper.
And is he likable? Do you like him?
No.
No,
Oh, I mean-
nobody likes him.
Man.
He's a centrist, basically.
Okay, so but he's a youngish guy, right?
No, he's a very boring middle-aged man, older than middle-aged man, very unlikable. But the alternatives here are Justin Trudeau, who's an Islamophile, and Thomas Mulcair, who's, shall we say, mentally retarded.
Is that another word for French?
Yeah, well, he's actually a French citizen, as a matter of fact, through marriage.
There it is. There it is.
A citizen of France.
No offense to my French subscribers, by the way.
Didn't we have somebody else who wanted to come into this chat?
I thought
Who was
Drew was coming in, no?
No, Drew's having liquid issues.
False Equivalence Watch said he wanted in, but I don't know where he is now.
I get that. Did you send him the link or?
I tried, but I don't know how through Google.
Well,
This week someone said Christiana was going to join us too.
Yeah, I direct messaged Christiana. Maybe she's not feeling so good.
Let me ask you a question.
She got babies.
Canadians, Canadian foreign policy, like what is Canada doing in the world? Are they being controversial in any way, or are they just sort of riding with America on all things?
No, we were controversial in the fact that we didn't ride with America on Iraq, but
or did you?
no. we did not join the coalition to invade Iraq in the Second War. But we do have we are bombing ISIS in Syria and Iraq as we speak.
So that was a good thing.
But then also you have some weird shit with Israel. What's going on with that?
I don't know that we have any weird shit with Israel.
The boycott.
Oh, well, that BDM movement, yeah, nobody takes it seriously. There was, Cenk called out, I guess Cenk called out someone for saying that they would use not blasphemy, but hate crime charges against BDM if they did the wrong things or whatever, which is just rhetoric. I mean, but BDM is really not a big issue here, no.
But as far as your Islamophilia, you guys are more like Sweden than you are the U.S.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I mean that you guys are so nice and tolerant that you are debating shit on your equivalent of your Congress over whether people should be able to wear burqas, in banks and shit.
In Quebec, it's a bit of a deal. They outlawed headscarves, religious headscarves,
and crucifixes and similar religious artifacts.
But they were going after headscarves, though.
Sure, yeah, but where I live, it's not an issue. I mean, the Muslims here are very nice. Nobody's forcing any thing down our throat. It's very peaceful and polite.
Yeah, same here in Ottawa.
And isn't Ottawa where the guy shot and killed somebody?
Yeah, there was that one incident. Yeah.
And
So
we
you
have
don't-
in Winnipeg, we have one guy that's been picked up by the police for being an avid ISIS supporter online, but he's never done anything. He's never been charged with a crime.
And what percentage is Muslim in Canada?
minuscule. I don't know what it is.
I have no clue. No
Are
minuscule.
there any Muslim hockey players?
We've been over this. They don't like
There's
the
a
cold.
Sikh hockey player.
Wait a minute. How many black hockey players are there now? There's a few, right?
Yeah, there's a handful.
And how many of those guys are goons?
None of them.
Really?
Not
I
really.
thought there was one who was a fighting expert.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, the Winnipeg Jets had two. There's Dustin Byfuglien, who's a big defenseman, but a very talented hockey player, nice guy. And then Evander Kane, who's just he's a power forward, but he's a douchebag, and we traded him to Buffalo.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what that means. I invite Tyler. Hello, Tyler.
What up, guys?
Enough
Hey.
Ty.
What's up?
Not much. We're talking hockey.
Oh.
I figured you'd be up for it, Tyler, so I thought I'd give you a little shout out.
You know what one of my favorite moments was? Do you guys know Ty Domi?
Sure.
Oh yeah, he used to play for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, one time he was in the box for a penalty, and some fan was bashing on the glass, and the glass fell over, and the fan fell in the penalty box with him, and I think he threw a couple punches. I think he got a few in, actually. I mean, that guy's such a monster. I just love the concept of a goon.
That was awesome.
They're actually
I mean,
trying to.
Have you seen the movie Goon?
No, is it funny? It's with Stifler, right?
Yeah, it's God, I forget his name now. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and yeah, it's a fun movie to watch.
The only can I just say one thing about I'm not interested in hockey or anything, so I'm just kind of tuning out of this shit, mate. But the only humorous hockey movie that I've ever seen is Slapshot, starring Paul
Slapshot's
Newman.
amazing.
Yes.
But the original with Paul Newman.
What about Mighty Ducks?
Oh, go away.
Oh, Jesus.
My-
Christ.
That's a Disney shill movie. Come on. Goldberg.
You know, it's been so long since I've seen that. I love that movie, and I love that one with Burt Reynolds as the American football thing. What was
Oh,
that
The
called?
Longest
They
Yard.
remade it.
Yeah,
But it's not
you know
called
what-
Longest Yard. It's called something else in this country. Fuck. Anyway,
You know
go
what
on.
deserves, you
Anyway,
know what deserves an honorable mention? Strange Brew.
Strange break. I don't know.
They know what I'm talking about.
Stop talking about things I know nothing about,
Bob and Doug
or I'll
McKenzie.
kick you out of this chat, Devin.
Exactly. I love that. Oh shit! I'm gonna get banned.
Mm-hmm. I'll ban you, motherfucker.
Man, that'd be poetic justice.
That was so delightful to see.
You can't ban the Führer.
Yeah, apparently we love Devon so much that we don't have our own minds, and we are just influenced children.
Hey, well, listen, guys, I'm going to actually ban myself, but it's been a real pleasure. This has been my first ever Google Hangout, and the fact that Devin showed up is a real treat, and it's nice to meet you other guys. Hope to do this again sometime. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Chris.
man.
Absolute pleasure, Dave. Thank you very much.
And keep up the fucking awesome work, Devin. You're one of the most prolific guys on YouTube, and you make me laugh every day. So keep it
I
up.
will, thanks, man. I will spread my seed.
All right.
See you later, pal.
Peace out.
Keep in touch.
Man,
All right. So yeah, me and him talked earlier this week. He was a very interesting, very intelligent man, and I'm glad I invited him because he's a good guy. So and that's the point. I mean, you attract these kind of. I know you attract people like that young man this morning, but you also attract like regular intelligent people and children.
yeah. No, it's surprising. I would have to say I'm pretty impressed with my demographic. You know, there's
I know
a
it's
lot of
mostly
quality
male.
people.
I'm trying to get Christiana in here, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
she's
you
just
know
not
what, though?
responding.
You know what though? I bet you most of atheism channels are like, for example, I bet you Jacqueline Glenn has mostly males.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just little boys wanking into the socks, though, isn't it? I mean, that's just all that is.
yeah, I hate the people who say Jacqueline Glenn's hot. It's like, dude, walk outside for 2
I
minutes.
like.
Who would
did you
wank
do
to-
those? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Todd. Whoever it was, go ahead.
No, that was me. I said, who the fuck would wank to Jacqueline? I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
There's really no defense for that. There's no defense for that in the age of the internet. Like, it would be mind-blowing. Like, I have no idea how I would get semi for her. None.
I guess she's hot for an atheist chick, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not really.
But this is like a desert island mentality. Like, out of, who are we choosing from? Rebecca Watson? Jenny McDermott? Like,
I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. I could send a picture of Christiana publicly, and she is a beautiful looking woman.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking. She is a beautiful looking woman.
We could make her a star.
That woman you did the woman with the Kirk Cameron. Who's fapping?
Sorry, that's my kid. He's slapping his leg.
Oh my God, kid fapping. This is out of control. Well,
He crawled into my lap. He started screaming "Bye, turtle!" So I had to mute my mic, and now he's slapping his leg because he loves this part of Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, that works.
it's a great movie, by the way. And I heard they're coming out with a third one. I think I saw.
I hope so. I love the first two.
Yeah. No, they're amazing. I love Jack Black. I love it all. I am an animation geek for sure. Love it.
No shit. have you ever done any of the 3D stuff, Devin?
No, I would have. I was in the wrong generation. But like if 5, definitely 10 years removed, I would be full on 3D animation from start to finish.
My best friend
doing the wire modeling and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude, textures, lighting, the whole deal. I would be 3D guy.
So because you were in the wrong generation, does that mean
Yeah.
Do you feel that that's passed you by and you don't want to get involved in that, or?
Exactly. It's passed me by, and I got into web and Flash and animation and online stuff. But I was dicking around with pen and pencil in high school and junior high.
So did you used to draw and stuff? Did you draw like cartoon characters?
Oh
and
yeah.
That kind of stuff? Okay.
I would do like still life, and I would do nudes and all sorts of stuff. And I was going to be a traditional animator. Like I applied to all the studios in LA, like DreamWorks and Disney and all these places. And I was about to go to Cal Arts, which is a college that pipelines into Disney. And so I only went to the others, Berkeley and UCLA, because I wanted more of a academic experience, which means translation. I wanted to party, I wanted to go to football games, I wanted cheerleaders, I wanted the whole thing. And I got them all.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, I love that shit. That stupid shit that people keep saying. That one thing that you said that you used to beat up people in school for the lunch money.
Yeah, you know what's so funny though? Like that was obviously a joke, but
yeah,
I mean, I'm an Eagle Scout first of all.
You don't go around beating people up.
What I love is that hits such a nerve.
Oh yeah.
And it tells me that people it's all about getting bullied, and about everybody online. Everybody online has been bullied, and this is their final chance to like release that rage, that pent up rage of like, ooh, this is that guy. This is a personification of the bully that picked on me, and I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah.
Like Vadim was not the captain of the football team. Vadim, right? Vadim.
I was bullied and abused and beaten fairly regularly through elementary and middle school, and I'm now following the guy who jokes about it. So I don't know what their excuse is, but I'm actually someone who was regularly in the principal's office for being beaten up. So,
but this is common. This is a very common thing, and it's just clearly people have not grappled with that or dealt with it, and they still sort of carry on this chip on their shoulder of like, fuck bullies and fuck all bullies, which is why they don't like it when I confront people. And I do insults. That's why people love ad hominem. They're like, oh, ad hominem, that's awesome. If only I knew that word when I was in junior high. I could have said, hey, bully, stop bullying me. You're ad homining me.
Stop strawmanning me when you're beating me around the head.
It's like, I'm not ad hominem. I'm not using an ad hominem. I'm just beating you up. It's like it's a difference.
It's pretty simple. You keep your head there, and I'll punch it until you fall down.
What I love is everybody walks around online and in the comment section as if we're in some sort of Oxford debate with like set rules. And like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Please do not notice that I'm morbidly obese and just address my points.
Oh my god, I have to mute my mic. Hang on.
It's crazy, man. Some guy sent me a picture today of TJ in like a little see-through underwear. Like
oh my god.
Full frontal naked with his micro penis on full display.
Oh god.
And I'm like, it is so revolting, man.
Imagine being that man. Imagine being that man instead of just a regular 6 foot tall bloke with a 7-inch penis.
You know what?
6-inch
Honestly,
penis, whatever. That was that thing that you said the other day. What's that? That woman with the white guilt woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me ask you a question.
It was when he said 9-inch.
Wait, that was a woman?
It's 9 inches.
Tyler, you didn't know that was a woman?
It looked like a guy.
Yeah. It was very meatloafy.
I love it every time you open a video with that clip from TJ where he's whipping himself and going, "I'm sorry, I'm white. I'm sorry, I'm
yes,
white."
absolutely brilliant. Yes.
And the thing about TJ is good for him for building up a channel and getting all popular. But I don't care how many subscribers I have. If the trade-off for having a lot of subscribers is to look in the mirror and look like that, it's not worth it. Don't spend your time making videos. Go out and run immediately.
Hey, Devin. We were talking about something this morning about that guy in Sweden or the IKEA thing.
Yeah.
Now, did they definitely get their heads cut off? Did somebody get their head cut off?
Yeah, one of them did.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is there's a guy on Twitter called Old Holborn, and I know this guy. I don't know who he is. I know why he names himself that, but he said nobody had their heads cut off at IKEA. Stop it, you mons.
Yeah, but
I like this guy.
I like
this guy. Does he know? I mean, what he does is he's like a social. He doesn't really comment on anything, but he's very well connected as far as the media goes. He's obviously got some connections there. He's got what's he got, 18,000 followers on Twitter, right? So I usually love the stuff he does, but that little tweet there, I was like, really, you know that? It might be true, I guess. I don't know.
There's a picture of it on Bare Naked Islam that somebody took.
Would you send me that, and I'll send it to him and tell him to shut the fuck up?
It's one of the top stories, but what you run into, I just had a back and forth with a guy. I was explaining to him that 99% of the deaths this year from terrorism are caused by Muslims, and he literally didn't believe me. And I sent him the links, and he could not accept that. And you run into this where it's like, they don't like these facts, and so they go into like a chicken with their head cut off, and they're just like, no, you're the problem. What you're reporting is false. I find it amazing.
I'm just checking this link. I want to see this. He's it bothers me. Somebody like that who is almost always, and this is what you get right on the internet. People who are almost always right are almost always right, but not all the time. Now the thing about why I love your shit, Devin, is because you're always right.
There you go.
And I'm not saying that to blow smoke up your ass. I mean, it's just a fucking fact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I don't think I would do a video about an issue that I didn't feel like I was right about and I couldn't defend my ideas about. There are topics I'm not talking about because I know nothing about them.
Yeah, and if like this morning, Isaac was talking about ISIS and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know enough to have a comment. And it's not because I don't have an opinion. It's just I don't want to look like a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, we got Butthead in here.
Who is that? I think that's Mr. Joshua right there. Mm-hmm. Hello, Mr. Joshua. Welcome to your
mic problems.
First hangout. Okay.
It's about to get a lot less confusing because I've been on this call for about 2 hours. I need to jump out. My kid is going crazy and wants to play. So.
Josh, absolute pleasure, sir, and I appreciate you for your time. We will do this again.
It has been fun. Normally Saturdays are good for me, and I just happen to have him today. So.
No problem. Don't you worry about it, buddy. We've all got commitments.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Good to talk to you.
It was great to talk to you face to face, Devin.
But not me. I mean,
our relationship is moving new places, and now that I know that you're divorced, I'm going to amplify that.
Yeah.
I guess we're in a bad bromance then, huh?
Citation needed.
I love you too, Josh.
You're all right, Skull.
All right, guy. See you later, pal.
Yeah.
He completes me.
Yeah. I'm looking at Best Go. Does anybody ever look at bestgo.com?
No. Well, that's scary. I thought you stopped looking at that stuff.
No. Well, we were talking about it this morning, but I'm trying to find that Sweden thing. I'm sure there'll be something on it on here.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec. There's a lot of porn on this shit as well. And whoa, what I'm doing? Whoa, the fuck, come on. Don't look at that shit on your work iPad. Use your own personal cell phone. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The picture is not of her head removed. It's like you can see it through the window. Her body is in a puddle of blood. So it's hard to make out, but it's definitely something that happened.
Right. I'm checking into it right now because misinformation is one thing that really, really annoys me.
So Tyler, how's your black privilege coming along?
I don't have any because I'm black.
Ah, right. You just blew my brain.
And I also can't be racist either.
Have you gotten a lot of flack for that? What are some of the names you've been called?
Just been called racist, that's it.
Oh, really?
An Uncle Tom or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Because we were talking about that last week.
the other day I got called a Zionist and a Nazi in the same day, which was
I had to Google what a Zionist meant. I had no idea what it meant.
and I think it means
I didn't even know there was an insult.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's insulting that they think it's an insult. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
People think it.
Yeah, fuck.
I think they mean.
That's Zionist is not. From what I learned, Zionist is somebody who believes that the people in Israel are there because that's where they're supposed to be because of the Bible, or something like that. Is that about right?
That's a literal thing, but in more common usage, it's just people that think that Israel deserves to be Israel, that they have a claim to this land at all. I mean, if you want to get technical, I don't think they have a religious claim to it, a theological claim.
No, but they're there. And they are already there. What are you going to do? Uproot everybody that's there?
Well, they have a plan. Talk to Hamas and Hezbollah what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got a plan. ISIS execute 10 Taliban by placing them on landmines. Oh, that's what Isaac was talking about this morning. I get it. Yeah, that conversation this morning was a little bit too heavy for 9 in the morning. I was drinking my first cup of coffee. And we're talking about what was the best beheading video that you ever saw. I'll have to think about that one. But I mean, he knows his stuff. I mean, I get that. I just wouldn't give it as much attention as he does. But I mean, that's entirely up to him.
Yeah, he's passionate. And in fact, I see a lot of guys like starting channels and like really getting involved. Like that Australian guy I just hyped up, the all-knowing atheist. Yeah. But there's tons of these people. You know, they're really dedicated. It's kind of inspiring.
Yeah, and
Tyler, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I know, Tyler wasn't inspired by yourself, but there are people who are getting inspired by you, Devon, and Tyler. I would imagine. I hope people are getting inspired by Tyler. Don't laugh at that, dude. No, I'm fucking serious. People should be inspired if they have any sense. You know, they look at this. They look at somebody like you, a young black guy in America, calling shit out like it needs to be called out.
Yeah, it's rare.
I mean that. Yeah.
But you never know who's out there. That's what I've found amazing. And like learning more about the people that watch my videos, it trips me out every time. Because you have to understand everything I've done on my channel is me and my laptop. And in my world, in my experience, I don't make these videos in public. I don't watch these videos in public. I don't hear a single reaction to any video I've ever done. And yet, apparently I've had an impact because people do watch them and it's fascinating to me. It's like, it's surreal. I don't think you guys watch my videos. You know, that's not a real thing to me.
Right, like whenever I make a video, like it's like to me it's just meh, but when other people watch it, it's like it's much more bigger than what I did.
Yeah. Dude, I remember the first hangout I did with my flying monkeys, and I told my girlfriend after it, I was like, she goes, how'd it go? And I go, it was the weirdest thing. I said a joke during the hangout, and everybody laughed. And I was like, it was strange.
Yeah,
I was like, they reacted. And,
well,
and
I mean,
that,
yeah, but that's the thing, Devin. I mean, because people have never spoken to you, like Mr. Joshua in the chat right now, he's never spoken to you before. You might be like thinking, I don't really know what to say. This guy's like makes awesome content, and what the fuck do I ask him? When really you're just another guy. You're just another guy. Just you're doing your job, and it just happens to fit in with what you do regarding your work requirements. You happen to be able to fit that in, and it's something that you are obviously passionate about.
But you know what I think, though? It's very strange because it is difficult to make male friends as an adult. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or experienced that.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
But this might be. That's still not really that real because you guys are all digital fake people. But
I could put my camera on, and I'm not fake.
Yeah, I don't believe any of you are real. You got to send a dick pic before I can confirm that.
I would only ever send it fully erect, Devon, and that's just to make you feel bad.
Yeah, that was always strange. Why does Playgirl? The guys are limp. Are guys limp or erect in Playgirl?
Playgirl? What the fuck? Why would I be watching that? Tyler? Yeah, is that right?
Anybody who answers that. Anybody?
Yeah, if you can answer that, that's a big problem.
Yeah, you got other questions that I have.
Let's not talk about sex with Tyler, please. We went through that last week.
Josh, what's your story? Where are you from?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Are you Josh? Or?
Yeah, Mr. Joshua, yeah. My story, I stumbled upon your channel after the Sam Harris thing. with Ben Affleck,
Oh, right.
and it was
D-Day.
actually yeah, right, and it was a rebuttal to the Young Turks, saying they shit the bed and jumped the shark.
Oh, yeah.
Was the title of the video.
Very, very first video you ever did on the Young Turks, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. That was. I didn't watch them until then.
And so I watched that video, and I couldn't believe like how many good points you made. You rebutted just about all the bullshit they were spitting out,
Mhm.
and then like it was fucking hilarious too. Like, I mean, it was just like all the dumb shit that nobody had ever responded to for like the 10 years the Young Turks had been on the internet.
Right.
It was like finally somebody was calling them out on it. It was way overdue.
I gave you multiple intellectual orgasms.
Oh, dozens.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so painful is that it's so obvious what I'm saying. Like I don't pat myself on the back for saying these things, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to point it out. It's like if your dog takes a shit on the couch, you have to rub that dog's nose in the shit. You know, it's not.
and nobody had done it for the longest time, and I couldn't figure out why.
Right.
Yeah, you're like the first channel I ever saw that actually criticized the Young Turks.
Yeah, because who does that? Who criticizes a left-leaning, progressive, quote-unquote, channel? It's got to be, well, surely it must be right-wing people, right? Nobody on the left could possibly do that.
And they could always shrug that off and just say, well, yeah, they just don't agree with us, so of course they're going to criticize us. But when it was coming from the left, it made it a lot more legitimate, I thought.
Yeah, and they always have a tendency to be like, oh, you must be a right-winger. You must be like...
You must be a neocon.
Right.
An atheist fundamentalist.
I like being called a neocon. It sounds like so futuristic.
Well, Douglas Murray calls himself one, so...
Tyler finds me really funny.
Like, I've never been called a neocon yet.
I like it. It's like I'm from someone from the future. I like it.
Yeah, but the minute I say to them, no, I am a left-leaning, anti-gun, pro-abortion, pro-gay Democrat who voted for Obama twice, and then they go, and an atheist, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, shit, now I have to actually listen to what you said. What were you saying? And that's an uncomfortable spot to be in.
Yeah, it's like, for me, like, when I do, like, these videos against Black Lives Matter or these black supremacists, it's like, this is coming from a black person? Holy shit!
Right, same thing. And that's why when I tiptoed into race, they said, oh, wait a minute, this is a shaved head guy from Germany who's talking about black crime. Ah, he's a racist. Conversation over. And it's like, what? No, it's not. It just started, and I'm right.
Yeah, now that's when obviously I work with a lot of Christians at work, and I'm their boss as well. So in my experience, when you talk to anybody that's religious in Texas, if you actually square up to these people, and I don't mean physically square up, but if you start addressing these people, if they say, why don't you believe in God? Well, because I don't believe in fairy tales. That would be my response, pretty much. And then the incredulity that you get, it's like, what? You don't? What? Why would you not believe in something like that?
Like in my area in Maryland, like I don't really get asked religious questions at all, so I don't have to worry about it.
I get them asked all the time, and that was the thing when I first started working in America, is that I got, which church do you go to? Where do you take your kids on a Sunday? What church do you take your kids to on Sunday?
Yeah, I got that when I first moved to Florida. They didn't understand, like, it just didn't add up in their heads, like, I'm not religious. They're like, yeah, but what religion are you? And what church do you go to?
Yeah, I just said I'm not religious.
It just made no sense to them at all. It just went right over their head.
Exactly.
Like, it sounds like it's more like a southern state thing than a northern state thing, because, like...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, in Maryland, I never got asked any of those questions at all.
You know,
that's strange. I mean, the demographic. I mean, when you travel further north and people get less religious. I mean, I know that exists, within certain states, and the further south you go, it's usually more religious. And I know it's to do with, it goes back to the Civil War, I guess. Would that be a correct assumption?
Yeah, I think Florida is a bit of a weird state, though, because if you go really far south, you get different demographics down there. I guess they're still religious. I mean, they're all Jews and Cubans and whatnot. But,
Jews? Well, I guess...
South Florida? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tons of Jews.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But Florida is. It really depends what part of Florida. But there's so much crazy in Florida. You know.
I've never been. I was supposed to. I mean, that's where English people go on vacation.
Well, remember I was telling you about the game, Florida or Germany. There's a reason why those are the two craziest places in the world. I mean, where do you think shit porn came from?
Shit.
Actually, hold on. Let me guess that one. I'm going to say Germany.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be Germany. Yeah, that couldn't possibly be Florida.
But
Shit
there's a
porn.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, or piss porn. I've heard of the piss porn thing.
Oh, please, I've heard of piss porn, as if you haven't looked at it.
I haven't. Honestly, fuck you, dude. I haven't.
Come off it.
Oh, you mean when they like the friggin' and they squirt and shit? Squirting. Is
Well,
that piss porn?
that's a whole controversy. Where do you stand on that, Mr. Joshua?
I am for it.
Is that
I stand by it 100%.
Yeah, but I don't think here's what it is. Everybody who's into squirting, they do not want to take the squirt and put it under a microscope because they know that the percentage of urine that's coming back is going to be substantial.
This is how stupid I was.
Actually, when I see that, it's the end of the video for me. I hit the stop button as soon as it gets to that point.
About 5 years ago, I saw that for the first time in a porn thing, right? I was like, where does that all come from? Is that like a special gland inside a woman that just?
Yeah. I mean, at least when we come, we're not peeing on them. You know, we give them the respect to keep our pee in a different chamber.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, some of us anyway.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. If you haven't been vasectomized, even then you can still come, though, right? Is that right?
I think you could. I don't know. We should ask somebody.
No, you can't. No, yeah, you can't. No, you can't. It doesn't stop you. That'd be ridiculous.
You know what I love though? Having like discussions like this where we don't know something and we're sitting on the internet and yet we continue to go back and forth like, yeah, I'm not sure. What is the capital? What is the capital of Florida? I have no idea.
You've got to Google at your fingertips.
Yeah.
I'd rather ask somebody.
I am charmed by the fact that we can go back and forth and say we don't know something. And we're standing on top of a mountain of knowledge.
Yeah. Well, like when I sent you that direct message about how to set a Google Hangout up, and then I thought about it after. I thought, well, what a stupid question. I could just Google how to do a Google Hangout that I've never done before. It really can't be that difficult.
Yeah, I think they're going to help you out. Google, they know a thing or two about searches. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm getting a ton of messages in from your little new friend, dude.
Which one? Oh, the
cheeseburger eating fella. Are you seriously going to do a 20-minute hangout with him?
No, I'm leaning to no.
Don't waste your time, man.
I don't see.
I think if you treated him like a son.
No, but from a humor perspective, like put it this way, I would pay $100 to see Sam Harris talk to that guy for an hour. Can you imagine?
Sam will be too nice to him.
But Sam Harris is a national treasure, and to take away an hour of his life is like a crime against humanity.
Exactly.
But like,
I have to say though, he is the perfect representative of like the drunken peasants crowd.
Yeah, so if
you couldn't pick a better representative of that, their whole audience, really.
Yes, so if you can just grab him for a 20-minute snapshot.
Yeah, but the correlation is very direct. Like he is literally copying TJ. Like he loves that guy.
Yes, he is. But maybe you can set him straight. So I mean, I would say give him 20 minutes of your time. But that's it.
He just
that
did
would take
video.
more than 20 minutes.
No, it won't. It won't. Don't give him any more than 20 minutes. Just talk to him like you're, you know. How
about just a 20-minute tongue lashing? Because I got about 20 minutes worth of content I could say to him to his face.
That would work. yeah. Get him on as if it's going to be a discussion, and then just beat the fuck out of him.
Mute him
verbally. Yeah, you muted, dude. Listen to what this guy's going to say because it might be useful in later life.
But it gets really sketchy because you realize within 2 minutes that these people are here for the fame. They want popularity. They want attention. Like the Canadian atheist.
Yeah.
He straight up said it. He's like, I'm just here to get attention. Like, I want to build my channel so I can change the world.
Yeah. Let's start with how are you going to do that, Josh? What's your plan? You did say that to him, right? I think.
Do you know how much?
Like, what's your plan?
Yeah. Do you know how much world-changing 23-year-old guys from Edmonton have done over the course of human history?
He might be able to change how much sugar he puts in his coffee. That's about it.
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
all they're going to do. I know, and that's the thing, and that's the age of the internet. People get a pumped-up self like I am very important now because I have a YouTube channel and I've got 200 subscribers, and people are expecting me to say this, or they're expecting me to give a beat down on somebody. It's like they lose the self. They lose their own self.
Here's the thing: ego is such a strong thing that they don't even care if the attention is positive or negative. Like, you'll look at some of these mongoloids out there who are getting like feedback from the flying monkeys, and they're just like, "Hey, my video got views."
Yes.
It's like, dude, your video got hate views.
Yes.
People are laughing at you, not with you. They don't care.
Yeah, what Crescendo just put on Twitter. Take
What's
a quick
that?
look at that. I like that picture.
Hey, Liquid, are you there?
No, he's gone. Yeah, Liquid's
Oh.
there. Yeah, no, Crescendo, Liquid's there. Are you there, buddy? Oh, he might have just taken a hiatus.
Fell
That was
asleep.
awesome. It's a really great picture. Really great picture.
I was going to ask him what he thought of Paris Marx, the Canadian.
You can. Liquid will still be there. Maybe he just went for a pee break. I don't know. He's still there. I can see him. He's the beaver guy.
Yeah. He's
I'm
dropping-
trying to get Christiana. I imagine she's got
Wait, the girl?
Christiana. Yeah, her and her husband.
Yeah,
Her and her
yeah.
boyfriend. You know what I'm talking about. The pregnant girl.
Yeah.
The pregnant girl.
Right, right.
I've been trying to get her in, dude. She knew about this hangout, and she's not. I guess she's not feeling so good.
So I guess that's the end of our discussion about squirting. If we have a girl coming in,
Not necessarily. I tried getting Liz in. I'm sure she'd be all right with that.
yeah, bring them
She's
on, man.
that kind of girl.
I-
No,
you know,
Liz is busy. Liz is busy. She can't make it. I already asked. Dude, I talked to Liz. I haven't spoken to Christiana in person, like over the phone, but I did talk to Liz on Skype. I spoke to obviously Crescendo and
Man,
work and stuff like that. So
You're like the den mother of my channel. You're like
I am trying, dude. I'm trying.
you're baking cookies for all my hardcore subscribers and bringing everybody together.
I'm doing the things that you might not get time to do. How's that?
Oh, well, that's a nice way of putting it, or wouldn't care to do. Wouldn't have even thought
it's
to do.
true.
But, yeah.
Well, no, it's true. I mean, since I've been doing these hangouts with you, obviously I've got more subscribers on Twitter, which is meh, but you get a lot more notifications, right? And that's the thing. So you have to, and I have no idea what yours are like, Devon. I've been meaning to ask you, if you release a video that you think is somewhat contentious or somewhat abrasive or whatever, when you wake up in the morning and you check your feeds or whatever you check, what does it look like?
Well, last year I got so popular I had to hire a personal assistant to go through my email. So they travel with me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like
You're talking to PA?
honestly, no, but you know what's interesting? Like there is a point where you cannot read all your comments, and that would be your full-time job, just reading all the comments. So
I get that, yeah. And then I've had like 2 days where it's been like, you have to filter out the shit, basically.
yeah, and you realize that. See, when
And
you
you will
open a
miss some
comment-
good stuff. You will miss some good stuff. And that's the point I'm making. Like anybody who sent Devon something really cool and he's like missed it and not responded, it's probably because you've missed it.
Yeah, I've just missed it. Like I usually respond. I respond to a lot of people, but I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff. And you know what's funny? I've never gone back to my old channels, which constantly get comments over and over. And I'm sure I get a lot of great hate, a lot of praise that I will never. I mean, that's sad. A compliment. If a compliment is made in the woods, does it make a sound? Is that an expression?
Yeah, it is. Devon, send Drew the link on.
I think I did.
No, send it again.
Again.
His power came back on.
I sent him via email.
I want to see you two get together and have a little chat, and I'll just sit and watch. That would be
What?
nice. Yeah, he just told me his power came back, so I'll give him an invite. He deserves some recognition because fucking hell, man, the videos he puts out. The most impressive thing about Drew, I was a fan of him anyway. I like him on the goddamn podcast and all that kind of shit. And like I said, I love Coctopus Prime, and I love those. And him and Dark Matter 2525, they all talk a lot of sense.
Yeah. I was going to do the Skeptic Fence show a couple weeks ago.
I
They
saw that,
invited me
yeah.
on.
That Drew guy, not Drew. I don't know what he's called. The main guy that runs it. I find him slightly irritating. He does say he repeats himself. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. A really
Was it
nice
Joe?
guy.
Joe?
From New Jersey?
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. I think he just is having said that a lot. Anybody who repeats one phrase over and over again, I tend to.
Well, my
focus on
phrase
that.
is my pet peeve phrase is at the end of the day.
I hate that one.
I cannot stand that.
That one. Oh, what about all said and done?
That is I don't even think that's used as frequently, but
I use that one. I use
at
that
the
one.
end of
I
the
use that in
day,
Texas to confuse people.
yeah, it just depresses me when people use that.
At the end of the day, there's nothing worse than the Crusades. There's nothing worse than dropping.
Right.
Right.
Like I just don't know if he's aware of it. Like I hope he's aware of it. Like the tongue.
These are like social
Right? He's aware of it.
They
Well,
are
I
social
would- I
would
tapes.
bet
You can't
money they know
stop
all
doing
about
it.
But like being aware of it and not stopping it, it's like it's mind blowing.
They're in too
I
deep
did
at this
this one
point.
for
I mean,
Devin, that first hangout I was with you and I was in the car. I noticed one annoying thing that I did. Every time I said something, I'd go,
I think it's a British thing, or it's like a Bruce Lee thing.
no, it's a nervous thing. It's a nervous thing. It's a nervous tick. So I stopped doing it.
But I think Ricky Gervais does that too.
Ricky Gervais can get away with anything, really, can't he?
But when he's doing a joke with a certain delivery, like with maybe it's a certain regional thing, and he'll deliver the joke and then he'll say, sort of like it's an exclamation point.
Yeah, you don't really do it, to be honest with you.
I'm sure I have my own tics.
I can't think of one. You might have, actually. You might have, but I can't think what one is.
I cut it
Everybody's
all
got
out.
them. Everybody's got them. Yeah, I mean, we had to do this presentation where you were videoed as well. So you're videoed on camera for 15 minutes, and you can look at it back, and you get feedback from 15 other people telling you ways to improve. And that kind of shit is useful, isn't it? In real life, that is the useful kind of stuff. If you want to project an idea that you feel is strong, it's a strong idea, and you agree with it, and you want to project it in the right way, there's right ways to do it and wrong ways to do it. And I'm talking in real life, really. I mean, because this is what I do in real life, so I have to tell people how to be at work. And I'm not saying I'm shouting or beating them down or anything, but this is what I do. I have to develop and coach them. So it's those things you can use online as well.
Yeah,
instead of just being a cunt.
Tyler, you did that bloopers reel of your video. Do you do that for a lot of them?
No, not really. Like, I had so many for your video.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That was amazing. You were like spitting on the camera and stuff?
I love that. I was the first person to point that out to him. I love that.
Yeah, that was actually a mistake on my end.
Yeah, but you decided to keep it in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like, it reminded me of Braveheart where like blood was getting
Yes, exactly, yes. Or a Saving Private Ryan on the beach.
Hell yeah.
With the blood splatters and shit. It's like, I'm so passionate about this, I'm going to fucking spit on you, you twats.
Yeah.
I love that shit. If you don't show genuine passion, that's what it is. These like yourself, Tyler, I don't know how many subscribers you've got. I know it's not as many as Devin, but you show that passion. You're like, fuck yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah. And people like passion. They
Yes,
like the rage.
Absolutely, but they'd like genuine emotion. I think that's what it is.
Well, and also it's very funny. Like, comedy is really just watching somebody else be angry. It's pretty much,
yeah, I was gonna say you're one of your best things, Devin, is when you're like ripping into somebody and you're just absolutely furious, and then seamlessly you just break into like a joke or whatever, and it just works perfectly every single time.
It's funny. Somebody challenged me the other day. They said, "Is this guy really that mad, or is he like? Is this a character he's doing?" I was like, "No, I'm really that mad."
You really are that mad?
I'm really that mad. I mean,
Nice.
put it this way. I don't think I act. I don't think there's any acting involved. By the way, Drew, is that you?
Oh, hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hang on. Let me boot him. Let me boot him real quick. Hang on.
Eject him.
Let me eject him.
God damn, it's been a hell of a day.
Nice, man.
How's the water leak going?
Well, it stopped. It quit raining like an hour and a half ago, but nobody's come out to fix it, so fuck it.
How bad was it, dude? Because I know in Dallas this last week we've had some rain, and here in West Texas we've had more rain in the last 5 years than I've ever seen.
Well, dude, this was like a short ass storm, man. It was like 20 minutes, and it was enough to fuck the power up and send a leak down my wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, I'm looking at your picture here, and I don't think this is my Photoshop job.
This is not. No, this is old.
All right. I helped Drew out with a new image of him because I wanted to clean it up. I want him to have a nice new suit on for his new videos.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
You need to wank each other off for a second. That's okay.
Yeah. Well,
No, he did me a solid, man. He leave it to the image designer to to fix shit up.
Yeah, where was the picture taken? What was the story behind that picture?
Trying to remember. It's just the time drunk in my mom's garage, I believe is what it was.
That's awesome.
It's old. It's a few years old, yeah.
And have you seen what people have done with that image, putting you in strip clubs and whatnot?
Yes, I have made a little folder dedicated just to that. I'm hoping there's more because they were really good.
Yeah, I'll post up like the clean PSD so people don't have to put in much work to play with it.
Am I on here?
What's that?
Hello, Liquid. Yeah, you're on. Buddy.
Oh, sorry. I was having some mic problems there. I was trying to talk and no one was hearing me, I guess.
You're okay.
No, we ignored you. We
Shush, autopsy's having babies with Drew. Shut up.
I finally got in, goddammit.
Yes.
It's
I wasn't.
amazing.
Goddamn it. He's trying to promote his own podcast. Tell me shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Drew, I have a question for you. How did you get connected with your co-patriot on the podcast?
Coctopus?
Yes.
I hooked up with Skeptic Fence about a year and a half ago. Live Life hooked me up with, gave me a spot. He gave me I was Skeptic of the Week 1 week. They do that for the show, and it wasn't too long after that he asked me if I wanted to be part of the show because he kicked out the guys that he originally had. And
who was that?
Matthew Still and Negation of P.
I've heard of him as well. Yeah, Negation of P's English, right?
No, he's American. He's American.
Is he really boring?
I honestly don't know. I really hardly even know him.
Okay.
So how would you describe the Skeptic Fence show? Like, who are you guys? Like, where do you stand?
How would I describe the Skeptic Fence? I don't know, man. It's really laid back, if I could describe it as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to bear with me. I am kind of drunk now because I've been sitting in the dark for the last 3 hours drinking beer.
Drew, you're drunk at 5:30 in the afternoon. I know what time it is there, sir.
It's Texas. But yeah, it's really laid back. We've had our guest before last was Armored Skeptic. We had him on.
Mm-hmm.
We were shooting the shit with him, and yeah.
Devin doesn't know who. Devin he's no idea who that guy is.
Yeah, I love.
Doesn't wear a suit or anything like that.
No, I actually saw that show, but I'm curious to know if you guys like ever argue with each other. Like, how much in agreement are you, and where does that stand?
No, we go back and forth quite a bit. I mean, the thing is that almost kind of sucks about the show. I mean, for us, maybe not for the viewers, but for us, it's we have like a layout of the show. And on the goddamn podcasts, the other podcasts I do with Coctopus, we don't do that. But on this show, it's like we have like a certain amount of time dedicated to these specific topics. Then we'll have a guest and shit.
So,
but yeah, we argue quite a bit.
Why do you have such a I'm sorry, but why do you have such a limited time on that one and not on the goddamn podcast? Podcast?
The goddamn podcast. One of the reasons for that is because I host it. I host it on Vaughn through Skype, and it's pretty much videos that TJ or Coctopus and I like gather together. And fans will send us shit, and we'll just cover whatever the fuck everybody wants to talk about. It's really laid back. It's really, it's not like really shit.
I really like it. I have to say, I like Coctopus's input on things. I like the way he laughs.
Yeah.
You're a little bit different to him. You seem to be.
We balance each other out good.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got a really good balance there. I enjoy it more than the what's the other one called?
Skeptic Fence.
Skeptic Fence. So, yeah, I used to subscribe to Joe and stuff like that, but no offense to the guy, I'm sure he's really, really nice fella. I can't really do with his voice, and that's the big thing, right? if you don't like somebody's voice, it's like I can't listen to him anymore.
Well, he's from Jay-Z.
I know.
Right.
I know.
But he strikes me as a guy who really wants to make that show big. Like, he set it up, he's got the talent, and he wants to sort of take it to the next level. Is that right?
Yeah. He's set it up and everything. I mean, he's a real cool dude. He's especially since I've started kind of, since I've made those videos supporting you, he's been a big fan of yours.
Oh, really? Yeah, he did join at that time. But like, he's got the mic and he's got the dedication, and he's full on.
He's talking on an iPhone.
Yeah.
And so,
he's got like some real shit going on.
There's my technology is I talk into my iPhone. But some guy's sending me a mic actually. But what about Coctopus? Is he from Texas, or where is he?
No, he's Florida.
Okay.
Coctopus and we have Dark Matters on all the time. So Dark Matter and Coctopus are both from Florida.
And there's a guy with some influence.
Yeah, Dark Matter has like 500,000 subs or some shit like that. Dark Matter's awesome. I love Dark Matter.
And where does he stand politically? Or not politically, but what camp is he in?
I guess it kind of falls like TJ and I. We had always considered ourselves progressives and stuff, but we were never
Can I say one thing? When Autosby says TJ, is not referring to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling him TJ. Yeah, Coctopus. I'll say Coctopus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Coctopus and I, we always considered ourselves progressives, but we have never been in the, politically correct type social justice warrior realm of progressives or whatever. I mean, we've had it out with we had Steve Shives on Skeptic Fence before and stuff, and we were really kind of turned off by that.
What?
Yeah, we did. I mean, and we were kind of turned off by that. And that was before Steve went like full on, feminist and shit. And we're like not about that at all.
Right. I like the way you said that. But feminism, we're not about that at all, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least what they're doing with feminism. I mean, exactly. It's the same thing as like the Black Lives Matter movement. Of course, Black Lives Matter, but what the movement is doing is bullshit.
Yeah, like if you were to ask me, I think it's more becoming like a black supremacist group.
Well, it's the way I referred to it in that one of the last videos I did was it's fascistic, and I caught a lot of shit for that. It's like, no, it's not fascism. Well, it's like, well, dude, I mean, if you go up there and you demand the microphone and say you will shut the fucking rally down if you don't get it, I don't know what else to call that.
Also, not only that, but they also had a reporter kicked out because he was white and said that non-African people are not welcome.
Oh yeah, that was another video I did.
Quite frankly, if you're not catching shit for the things you're saying online, you're doing something incredibly wrong.
Well said.
You have to do that.
You're just being totally vanilla if you don't.
But where do you think? Where were the red flags with all of us atheists? Because I think what you mentioned, feminism, that was one where it's like, okay, there are people on this side of that issue and this side. But then Islam, I feel, is the next one, because this is like it has divided people. People are just not willing to. In fact, I was listening to the Skeptic Fence, and Coctopus you guys were talking about Islam, and he immediately brought it back to America and American foreign policy. And I was like, why that urge? I just want to stamp that urge out. Yeah. I just cannot. You can talk about that in a separate conversation, but to bring it up in a false equivalence manner is unbelievable.
Well, I think he likes to play devil's advocate too. Which has a place in the conversation.
Yeah, he very much does. But Coctopus. Coctopus and I, because we go back and forth on that like all the time. I mean, he understands that Islam is a problem. He has no problem with that. He has no problem calling out Islam, but his big deal is on Christians in America. And to an extent, I mean, he has a really good point. I've been listening to this for a while. My phone's almost dead. I couldn't join, but the things that Christians are able to do in here as far as legislation and stuff goes, the Republican Party actually having as much power as it does and it being so overwhelmingly Christian and stuff, that instance, yeah, but I mean, when you're talking about death counts, when you're talking about terrorism and this shit like that going around the world, it's not even a contest.
Right. And I understand that. I mean, the fact that the Republican Party are even talking about abortion in 2015 is frightening. So I think we need people to keep an eye on these guys, like Right Wing Watch or all these guys. But it does just disappoint me. And I know you guys had the non-stamp collector on, and I love that guy. I love his stuff. I banned him from my channel, but I love.
I mentioned that.
But I love all of his stuff. But that guy is strictly talking about Christians. And that is really disgraceful, quite frankly. The fact that he has not one single video about Islam on his channel there's no defense for that. Well, and I get it, that's his issue, but come on, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about that a lot, because I've had those conversations with Coctopus and Dark Matter and Live Life and all those guys, and I've been thinking about that. I think about all like the bigger names that I know of in YouTube atheism, and I went over them all today, and I went over about 15 of them in my head, and I was like, none of them mess with Islam.
Or they do like one video.
Yeah, they'll be like a one-off.
Right, and they'll take a lot of heat for it.
Yeah, and like you said, with as far as feminism goes, there are fantastic channels that are nailing feminism.
Dr. Random Cam, whatever.
Yeah, I like that guy. I like that guy. I retweeted a video he did this week, and I've got to be honest, I don't quite understand everything that he's talking about.
Dude, I'm a jaded fuck. I was watching one of his videos yesterday. I laughed out loud twice in the span of 5 minutes, which is like, that's important for me.
That's good.
I want to shake the guy's hand for doing that to me.
Yeah,
I almost want to
Why did you laugh out loud? Can you remember what he said?
Oh God, he was. Oh shit, my battery. He was talking about. Well, I don't want to step on his lines, but I'll show you. I'll send you a link and a timestamp because it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very. I mean, he is a genuine comedian. That's what he does.
Is he actually? He's actually drinking whiskey.
Yes, he is. He's drinking.
Okay.
He's drinking Honey Jack.
That makes it more impressive.
Yes, but I can see why he does it. This guy is a postman or a mailman, depending on what country you're in.
What kind of drinking goes on the Skeptic Fence show or on your podcast?
A lot of beer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fucking beer. We did it depends when December rolls around. We always do like a Hitchens tribute, and we drink whiskey for that. But other than that,
nice. I did that when I was in Rio. I found out he died, and I drank some of the Black Label for him.
I did too.
I'm sure the sales have skyrocketed. I mean, he really should be
around December. Yeah, I'm sure.
So do you ever drink so much to the point where you're like, okay, this is not helping the podcast?
But the thing is, though, I would say yes, but that's just kind of how the podcast works.
They're used to it.
And I was about to say TJ again. Coctopus and I have bought breathalyzers for ourselves, so we can.
Drew, I have seen a podcast. It's a little while back where you got too drunk to be funny.
And do you ever listen back?
Weren't following the conversation anymore. It was just like, what? I'm just drinking,
making noise.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen back to your old podcasts, or is that too incestuous?
Oh no, I wouldn't dare listen, but especially later on in the show. Like at the beginning, maybe, but like later on in the show, I'm sure it's just gibberish.
Nice.
But the thing is, you got to kind of remember though. I mean, this is kind of, people always ask us, what do we do in our downtime? Well, that is our downtime. That's kind of between work. I mean, we work day jobs. We don't do this shit for a living,
Yes. Yeah. Same here, dude. Same here.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we chill. We cover right-wing watch videos and shit like that. It's just.
And it is very enjoyable. That and as somebody who doesn't run a YouTube channel, and this is my first ever hangout, quite successful, I would like to say. But just as a side issue, it is difficult to keep things interesting, and it's very difficult to keep things moving along. As we found out this morning, just you get one technical issue and it can just fuck everything up.
Or you get banned.
Yeah. Well, I think when you start putting up videos and calling them "Let's Masturbate," I think that's time to wrap it up. Call it a career.
Yeah, like so far it's like 3 videos in a row that Jack and Len put out regarding sex.
Oh no.
Well, it is quite obvious what demographic she's trying to go for there. It's the young male in America, or young female, telling young females, like suddenly, hey, masturbation's okay. I'm telling you, as a 500,000 subscriber YouTube channel, that you can have a wank.
Yeah,
exactly. And I was already doing it anyway. Stupid.
And then the last video before that one, she was talking about her period and stuff.
Yeah, we don't need to know about that.
Yeah.
All women have them. Women don't even want to talk about it themselves. Like,
but Jacqueline is an LA girl, and that's what nobody can quite understand unless you've been to LA and have seen thousands and millions of women who are a small fish or a big fish in a small pond. They come to LA, they think they're hot shit, and then the worst thing to do to that woman is give her attention, give her 100,000 people liking her. Then her brain goes into fucking hyperdrive, and you will never see her come back to Earth again. That's why I like.
Isn't like Jacqueline from Florida too?
She's somewhere, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, it's L.A., so people migrate to L.A.
Yeah, she's there to become famous.
Somebody already. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is one of the reasons why I like Coctopus and Drew, because there is a certain vibe of we don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. We don't give a shit what you think of us.
Yes.
And that's what's needed.
Exactly. Absolutely. Nailed it on that.
You need that. Other people are protecting their brands, and they're like, they want money, they want subscribers. I don't know. I just doesn't strike me that these guys are about that.
Well, I know the goddamn podcast wants subscribers because they're actually, and absolutely, and I will promote that podcast if maybe we can talk to Coctopus at some point. Would be awesome.
Yeah, actually, I will. Go ahead.
Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was in the chat room for your podcast the other day, and that is like an infomercial for the Patreon. You guys are hitting that Patreon like a mofo.
Yeah, we hit the Patreon, but the funny thing is, we have more money through Patreon than we do subscribers. We have, dude. It's like $1,200 in Patreon, and we have about that in subscribers now.
Have you seen how much the DP podcast gets?
Oh, I can only imagine.
$8,800 a month.
Fuck.
But having said that, did anybody see what I tweeted out this week about Devon's Patreon, Amazing Atheist Patreon? I know you don't want to go on about it, Devon. I know.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I will say about my Patreon is that my Patreon web address is patreon.com/atheism.
Atheist, yeah, and you're the only one. If you type ATH into Patreon, you're the first place that comes up.
You lucky bastard.
I've wrapped it up.
Yes,
Got it.
But I don't know if you saw, and I will reiterate to anybody who may be watching this who doesn't know, I looked at the Amazing Atheist Patreon, and I looked at Devon's Patreon, I looked at Creationist Cat's Patreon, just as an experiment. And it was quite interesting because both the Amazing Atheist and Creationist Cat's Patreon have gone down since the last time I looked, which was a month ago, and Devon's has gone up.
Well, I will tell you one thing. I have a breakthrough. My newest Patreon supporter is a Christian, which has never happened.
Yeah, is that guy you've been talking to on Twitter?
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
Dude,
yeah,
he's binge watching every video I've ever made, which is like hundreds.
Yes.
But he's still Christian, so apparently I'm not doing my job.
You gotta give it time, though, man. Give it time.
Yeah. A 5-year process.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and like I think, dude, that was Devon. When I was tweeting those things, the screenshots and stuff, it was the lunch hour on Friday before I was due to do my thing at work. I thought, I really want to do this. This is so important to me. I hope people see this. That people are putting the money where the mouth is, and that's the point I was trying to make.
But I think
not being a fucking dick and going, ha, Devon. It's like, can we just look at this and look at, people are obviously liking his content. The Amazing Atheist, people are not really digging what he's doing. Or they're certainly not putting money into it anyway.
Well, he's changed. I mean, he's covered every topic, and he's done a lot of good work in the past.
Yes,
so
he has.
He gets his credit for that. But I'd be interested to know, Drew, like, you have, what, around 10,000 subscribers or something?
It's over 9. It's over 9,000.
So, like, what is your goal, or what do you think about subscriber count, or like, what do you envision for the next year?
It's one of those things in the beginning. It's like you give a shit about it, but at this point, it's like it always is cool to see it going up. But somebody's knocking on my door. I think they're here to fix my leak.
Cool.
Perfect timing. But yeah, subscriber count. The way it starts out. Yeah, guy, I'm coming. Hold on. Yeah, the way it starts out is like, it builds and stuff, and it's really cool, but it gets to a point where it's just kind of you're numb to it a little bit. But you want to see more, but you're still kind of numb.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up Dave Rubin on direct message and be like, put me on your goddamn show. I wanna play with the big boys. I wanna be the male Jacqueline Glenn. Go and play, girl.
Give me just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you can DM Dave Rubin.
Yeah.
That was the impressive thing that you just said there.
Well,
people used to be impressed that I could DM you.
Dude, I'm full homo for Dave Rubin.
You can talk to Devon.
Oh, really?
I know, but people thought of me that I can contact you directly. Like, you fucking get in contact with this guy? Yeah, I can, but he doesn't necessarily engage with me all the time.
Well, are you sure that you're not contacting the other Atheism Unstoppable, which is, he spells it IESM?
There is another one. There is another atheism. No, he's not a troll. There is another Atheism Unstoppable that's been there longer than you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There's some guy that runs a Facebook page with my name.
Have you seen that one where he's put DK is unstoppable, the Dunning-Kruger effect? Or something.
Yeah, that guy's a total douche.
He did that little stupid video. Yeah, you saw that, Drew, right?
Yeah, are you talking about the guy that completely wrecked Devon and I?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That guy. Oh, yeah.
Are you both fully recovered?
Well, not totally. I'm still sitting on an ice pack, but it was pretty bad. Yeah, I watched that at work through headphones, and I'm like sitting in the break room. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing?
It is like almost pathetic. Like, I almost don't want to do response videos to these people, but I really do. Like, I really want to smash them. Like, I feel like Hulk. Like, I just need to address. But there's no point. I mean, there's no message. They have nothing to say. But
right.
It's fun just to engage with them. I don't know.
I thought it was entertaining though. Like, it was like me doing like these metal hands and like kicking my leg out. And there was one he had 2 videos he did, and one was like Devon like rubbing a poster of me, And then
Are you
like
serious? I haven't seen
yeah,
that one.
yes, and then like you're like wearing like a pink top, and you
That's
run over
awesome.
there and you like rub a poster of me, and you're like, oh my big burly man, and then you like run off and you start putting makeup on.
God, you got to link me to that. I have not seen that.
Oh, it was beautiful.
But
Let me
but
see
you know,
that.
Drew, that was interesting because when the shitstorm came down, when everybody called me a racist, all this bullshit sort of, mob mentality, you were the only guy of note who stepped up and said, "This is bullshit. I'm putting my reputation on the line to call you all out for calling him out," and that was big, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, but think just doing what I can. I mean,
Yeah.
I normally and that's kind of Coctopus's thing is when I've talked to him about it. I really honestly I don't have any idea what he thinks about you. I have no idea.
Right.
But for me, that was kind of the big thing. Is like, well, I've never kind of went out for anybody, but I was like, but I thought you were right. And I was like, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. Don't hate the hater. No, don't hate the game. What is it?
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Don't
just
hate
said
me
it-
because I'm right.
I just sent a tweet to that ape fella just to see if he wants to engage, to see if he's got the balls for it.
Oh, is
man,
this
look
is
at
this
you.
the guy that tried to get
An
you
Australian
fired?
guy?
Yeah.
He is selling. Devon is literally selling pencils from a cup right now.
Well, he did a really interesting video where he was criticizing me for the Bob Marley Snoop Dogg mashup video I did, where at the end there's smoke that comes into the screen and it looks like it's hitting me, and he said, Devin smokes pot, and so therefore he is using black crime and like black gangs to somehow get him his pot. It was the weirdest what he doesn't understand is that was done in post in After Effects, and I was not smoking. I've never smoked pot in my life, as if that would have mattered. As if I did smoke pot, it somehow he had a point. He has no point. But yeah, I mean, I really do think he's not a fully operational adult, so I'm not sure if it's worth even criticizing him.
Well, he runs in the McDermott circles, doesn't he?
What circle is that? Oh,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah, can somebody please explain what her background is? Because I'm a little bit confused on that one. Why is she even anything?
She's a subscriber of mine, apparently.
Nah.
That obviously means nothing.
I know. Yes.
I mean, I'm not having a go at you there, Drew, but I want to know what has she done? Because the only video I've ever seen is the one that she did about, excuse me, Devon is a cunt or whatever. That's the only one I've ever seen. That's the only one I've ever seen. I have seen her face before, but I can't quite remember where it's from.
No, be sure to get the full name. It's not Devin. It's Devin Tracy is a cunt for the keywords. Drew,
go ahead.
who is your most popular subscriber? Do you know that?
King Crocoduck just subbed me, so
Oh, wow.
well, technically Coctopus is subscribed, and I think Dark Matter comments on my videos. I think he's subscribed, so I guess Dark Matter wins.
Sweet.
Yeah, every once in a while he shows up. But I'm sorry, I have to use this opportunity to commend you, Devin, on your flying monkey ormy is just something for every content creator to be envious of. Because let me give you the brief story of how I was introduced to Devin's flying monkey army.
Okay.
Devin, he had made this video where he was talking about Jenny McDermott. She did this thing on like Hitchens and then Thunderfoot's dad dying. You remember that one, Devin?
Oh yeah, fuck her. Yeah.
Oh my God! And he put the link in the description. And I get here late. I just got off work. I was like, what's this all about? I go look at her page. And it is like fucking 900 dislikes to like 10 likes. It is just fucking like I imagine like this little like kangaroo army just like wiping the bloods off their swords. I got there late, and they're just like
it's not even that. It's like Devin almost doesn't need us to go do that.
No, but it's hilarious because it's like
impressive.
Yes, it is. It's like the last bit of the monkeys. Like all the fucking conversation I'm looking at, all the comments are just like 80 replies and stuff. They're just butchering like McDermott fans. And I can just see like these little monkeys like wiping blood off of their swords and like coup de growing all the last guys in the ground like the 300 or some shit. And then I see this one comment stands out. It's like this guy and he's like, atheism is unstoppable, sends his regards. I'm like, oh my God, this is so epic.
Yeah, you gotta quote Roose Bolton at the end of it all. But
that is the thing, right, guys? Because if you, I mean, we've talked about the monkey thing, which is obviously just a meme, right? Yeah. So, but the fans, and I'm talking about you, Devin, as if you're not here, but if obviously you are. This flying monkey meme, well, it's just a thought. It's just something Devin made up, right? He just called us flying monkeys, and it's stuck, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's
Yeah,
weird.
my bio on my Twitter is. And this is the weird thing. I was never going to include the flying monkey thing on my Twitter bio, right? Because it just sounds a bit lame. But I actually do like it. So I did write something, and then I converted it to Arabic, and then put that on my Twitter. So if you try and reverse Google Translate it, it won't work.
Well, let me tell you something.
I know what it means, but nobody else ever will.
So when I'm putting a description in one of my videos, whether it's to send the flying monkeys to a video to dump their monkey shit or to support it, it's like I'm typing in the coordinates in Vietnam and I'm calling in a napalm raid. It's totally. I mean that could be the next meme because it is strictly like YouTube napalm. These guys are incredible. I laugh.
Exactly.
I laugh.
And some of the shit that with this ape guy, right? He's like, oh well, when Devon sends hate, you know what I mean? It's all about dogpiling on somebody. Well, let's look at that guy that was going to kill himself, or threatened to. You know, he looked like he was on his fucking last legs. Look what happened there. He upvoted his video 250 times, and I have commented on him. I have supported him. I've tried to support him. I've told him to call you out and say, hey, thank you. That's all he's got to say is thank you.
Dude, that guy was so weird, though. I had to back away from that situation because his follow-up video was so bizarre. I don't know if you guys watched it, but like he didn't really thank anybody. He sort of just said, "You're gonna get what you wanted," and then he burned a picture of his priesthood card for the Church of ISIS. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Dude?
Well, no. The ISIS thing is the ISIS is obviously referring to the Egyptians, but
yeah, but it was so disjointed and just random and so not addressing the event
what
that
did
just
you
clearly had happened. No, sanity? Yeah.
Really? You expected something off that guy?
Nah, I learned my lesson. I will not go back to that.
No, I know. I mean, but it shows an aspect of your character that I really liked. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, the monkeys are powerful, man. I feel like I can't even. I'm wielding a power that I don't deserve.
I like being the general of the flying monkeys. I really like that.
You take pride in that, Skull. Skullduggery needs to take pride in that. Yeah, I mean, it's as a content creator myself, I'm very envious of that amount of power. That's ridiculous.
I do the same for you, Drew.
I appreciate it.
Well,
all I'm doing is I'm spreading ideas. I have 400 subscribers on Twitter. That's all I've got. You know what I mean?
Apparently, it's all you need, right?
Exactly. I can get you 2 or 3 retweets. I've done my job as far as I'm concerned, and 7 likes, or whatever it fucking takes. It might sound pathetic, but I'm going to do it consistently, and that's the point I'm making.
Hey, you know what's funny? The first day I got on Twitter, I tweeted Reza Aslan and Cenk Uygur, and they replied to me, and that was the last time.
Yes.
They were like, "Oh fuck, we know who this guy is now. Let's not reply to him."
Well, that's the thing. They won't block you. They'll just mute you. So unless you put the at Reza Aslan or at Cenk Uygur, they'll never even see what you're doing.
Hey, false equivalence, are you here?
Yes, he is. Hello. I invited you, dude. What's going on, dude?
Speak your mind.
Speak, or rest your case.
All right,
Come on,
let me send it over to
don't be shy.
Mr. Joshua. You there?
What's going on, man?
Fuck, marry, kill. Cenk Uygur, Reza Aslan, CJ Werleman.
Oh, man. this can't go anywhere good. Kill CJ.
Kill CJ.
Kill CJ,
I like that.
yeah.
I like that. Reza
Fuck
looks like
Reza.
a girl. Yeah, you gotta fuck Reza.
Yeah.
No, I'd fuck CJ.
Right.
I'd fuck CJ. I'd fuck him in the ass with a what is it, bazooka? A ferret bazooka. There you go.
With a howitzer. And I guess I would have to marry Cenk.
Okay, good call.
But there's no way to win that. I mean, you lose any way you cut it.
That is the correct answer, though. You passed the test.
Is there a test?
You are now an official flying monkey.
Amen.
He was a flying monkey anyway. We've been doing work for you for a long time.
I'm a hardcore man.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Fuck
but
yeah,
you know what's funny though? It's like when you watch a video and you vote, let you like it or dislike it, it really doesn't have much power to it. But when you can send a group of people, like a solid demographic of human beings, and just have them storm a different group of human beings and like just hit them with ideas and insults, it's beautiful to watch. I mean, this is a storming of the gates. This is like the Vikings coming in. I mean, I love it. In fact, I'm going to do it more now. You guys have hyped me up on the concept of it.
Well, this is the thing, Devin. I mean, after the last hangout we did when I was in Dallas that one day,
Yeah.
I just got that. I got like an inspiration, basically. I felt obliged to do that. It wasn't like something I wanted to do. It felt like something that I had to do. I want to talk to. I want to engage with your fans. I want to talk to these people that I always see on your comment threads. And you know what? I end up talking to these people, and they turn out to be extremely intelligent and engaging and interesting.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I have not come across a subscriber of mine where I was like, oh my god, please unsubscribe.
You have on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I blocked the guy today actually.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm one of your big fans. I'm like, you're blocked, dude. Get out.
But the people get so pissed off with that. I don't get that.
Censorship, man. It's me crushing freedom of speech.
Well, it's your fucking channel. You can do whatever you like. I mean,
It's just laying waste to the First Amendment, Devin.
I know. I'm the arbiter of the fucking First Amendment.
False equivalence. I had to jump out because he doesn't have a mic. He could have stayed in and listened and been a part of it.
That is a fail.
His mic isn't working. Sorry, his mic's not working. Sorry.
Hey Drew, do you ban people? What's your ban trigger finger like?
Not. I normally would only ban people if it's just spam. But recently I have had to start banning people. Yeah, I mean people that come in with just like blatantly like racist shit. I'm just like, all right, done.
So what do they hate you for? What's the number one thing?
Well, so far it's for supporting you.
I love it.
I've
Spill
been
off
getting
hatred from me.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot. It's like, why do you like this guy? What do you? I'm like, I think he's right, and it's like, oh no, fuck that guy.
I have to be completely honest here, by the way, and I will hold my hand up. I did send Drew not a direct tweet. He wasn't following me or anything, but I did directly ask him publicly, "What are your thoughts on this?"
Mm-hmm.
And Drew's response, and your response was, "I'm not going to respond to this on Twitter because it just takes too long." And I was like, "Fair enough."
Yeah, because
so awesome.
Yeah, it went over the course of like when I saw that Jacqueline Glenn video and stuff, and I commented on that, and I was like, dude, I had never seen the Jacqueline Glenn video, but all the shit you said about Dylan Roof and all that, I was like, that was just kind of like piecing the last bit of like the puzzle I had like together, and I was like, okay, I'm totally behind this, and it took a couple of weeks. Like I had planned on doing it, and I had like scripted out and everything.
But as a flying monkey, as there was then, or whatever, that was me as a Devon's fan squaring up to you going, what do you fucking think about that, dude?
Yeah.
You know, like publicly. Does that make sense?
I remember, yeah, because I like just made a Twitter at that point.
Yes.
And it was like,
I followed you immediately, and the first thing I asked you was,
here comes this guy with like a Simpsons avatar, and I'm like, oh, what is this all about?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, we'll get in your face.
Yeah, he did, and I was like, I support him. And they kept asking me on Skeptic Fence. It was like people kept asking all the time on Skeptic Fence and goddamn podcasts and stuff. It was like, what do you think about Devin Tracy? In fact, our patron show, this last one, some people kept asking us, what do we think about Devin Tracy? And I was like, haven't I already said what I think about Devin Tracy? I think he's right.
Yeah, and I think all that needs to be done is just to reiterate, because I don't want. I'm Devin. Shut up. I want Devin's name to be like totally clear. I want somebody to. I don't want his name slandering because I think he's such a good fucking guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tyler, go ahead.
Like, so far I have not received any kind of bad messages for fans of TJ yet. So I guess I'm pretty lucky because I'm black.
Yeah.
You stop bringing color into it, you racist.
I got a few of those too. I guess kind of related to supporting Devin was, drunken peasant fanboys. So you got a few of those, but I wasn't worried about that anyways.
Yeah, that was very interesting after all that shit.
See, I think they're intimidated, you guys. They don't like my personality. They don't like that I'm brash. They don't like that I'm a tall white guy with a shaved head living in Germany. They want me to be Ryan Wiley mixed with Steve Shives, and I'm not. I'm not that guy. So it's.
Exactly. But you are right, Devin, as far as the intimidation goes, because if obviously with the written word, you're very concise when it comes to YouTube comments and Twitter and stuff like that. If somebody asks you a question, you will answer their question. And if they then follow it up with something stupid, they're going to be made to look like a twat.
Exactly.
But that's their own fault. It's not. If you could come back with something interesting to say, you would still engage with that person. Would that be correct?
Well, of course. But I also find it interesting that there's no controversy on my channel until I start talking about two things. Nobody has a problem with me making fun of Kirk Cameron and Sarah Palin and hyping up Sam Harris, but the minute I talk Islam and the minute I talk race, guess what? I'm the bad guy. Blame the messenger.
Yeah, and that whole thing, that absolute whole thing was just
Speak.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. Go ahead.
Lie down, and drink a glass of water.
That's been my only hiccup during the whole hangout. So fuck you.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
You're doing a much better job than Vindicator did. No hard feelings. I told him. He talked to me on Twitter and he was like, "Bro, I'm really sorry for blocking you. It's cool, but I'm just saying you're doing a much better job." This is the first Google Hangout I've ever been in where I lasted more than a minute. So
yeah, dude, you didn't even last a minute. You lasted like 5 seconds. It was like
it was such a cluster F before he ejected Drew, but then when he did, I was like, "Oh my god,
totally downhill."
This is legendary at this point. And I was in the group chat, like chatting at him. I was like, "Come on, dude, please mute the guy, please." Oh man.
So somebody else speak because I'm not. Liquid, what's going on?
Oh, just enjoying you guys talk. It's been great.
Okay, Mr. Joshua.
I have a question for Devin, actually.
Well, you're holding your hand up, dude. Go ahead.
All right, so Devin, honestly, when you did the Jacqueline Glenn rebuttal video, did you expect a lot of hate for that, or were you just totally shocked?
I didn't expect the drunken peasants to get involved, but I think when I make videos that I know are going to irritate regressives or the mainstream liberal culture, I expect a kickback. Like my video I did against Ben Affleck during the Sam Harris debacle, that has like 50% dislikes because people are just so dead wrong about that they are, I don't know, they're animated. So I knew that the topic of race was delicate, and I guess going after Jacqueline is like going after the sacred cow, the poster girl. So I guess from that standpoint, but I mean, Jacqueline is fine, and she does good stuff, like she's remedial atheism, and that's needed. We need a place for some girl to come out and tell us it's okay to masturbate. I mean, it's like it's just to me it is so painfully below. I don't know. It's such a waste of time. It's so redundant and unnecessary. And I just want to call these people out. Like I'm doing videos calling out Jon Stewart. I don't know who else is doing that. I'm doing videos calling out Neil deGrasse Tyson, calling the atheist experience. Nobody's doing that. And are you trying to tell me those people don't need to be called out? They do. And I'm right when I do call them out, or at least I think I am. Oh, sorry, no, I am. So I don't know. I just think that there's other topics because, quite frankly, maybe Drew can attest to this. There's nothing else to talk about when it comes to atheism.
Yeah,
I guess you could probably talk about some history about religion or the text, but other than that, it's nothing much to talk about.
Well, it's been done to death, though.
Yeah, I think the thing is, though, I mean, you need people still talking about that. You do need people still talking about that. But the thing is, it has been done to death, and it's like when you start adjusting your priorities, and it's like, dude, are you going to go after the Christians? Are you going to talk about the history and stuff like that? Well, let's talk about what's happening now and what's the biggest problems. And bar none, Islam is the biggest problem.
Do you feel like you've, Drew? Do you feel like you've adjusted your priorities somewhat?
Yeah, I have on the, especially on the race issue. If you went back even, maybe 6 months ago or something like that, I would have had a different idea on this. But yeah, my mind has changed progressively over time. On the Islam thing, I think the thing for me that broke that was either, I don't remember, what happened first? Was it the Charlie Hebdo that happened first, or was it the Sam Harris, Bill Maher, Ben Affleck
Sam Harris,
thing?
Bill Maher.
Sam Harris.
Yeah, I made a video on that right after that happened. I was like, okay, drawing the line here. That's fucked up. This is stupid.
Hang on.
It's a great video, too.
Hang on. Was the Sam Harris Bill Maher interview before Charlie Hebdo?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I don't now. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a few months before it.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like November or something of last year. I don't know. It was. I think it was.
It just makes me think what got them talking about it in the first place.
Well, the answer is there was another Islamic attack. because there's constantly. You don't have to like pick a month. I mean, pick a day.
Yeah.
It's happening all the time. Yeah.
That was the big okay, well, enough of that. I need to start making videos about Islam and so especially once you start making videos criticizing Islam, the way I can kind of tell of the direction I need to go or I feel I need to go is in the response I'm getting. When I get a lot of people in there just like, no, you can't do this, I'm like, okay, this is definitely the direction I need to go. That's usually how I kind of feel that
That's
out.
the way it should be. But for
What
these
about
other
your-
channels, it's not. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
thing
they
about
avoid it.
like this thing about Islam is that I don't really know much about the religion to talk about it, so I don't really talk about it.
That's
Yeah,
fair
but
enough.
you
Yeah.
know, but you know about the value of life. I mean, you know about
Right.
what's happening.
Well, I think I'm sorry, David. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm thinking as far as what Tyler said there. I think that's one of the things that a lot of YouTube atheists, especially us Americans who don't deal with the direct threat as much of Islam, I think that's kind of one of the things that goes through our heads. It's like, well, we're dealing with a 70+% Christian population, and we're dealing with like a less than 1% Muslim population. I think that's kind of one of the things that goes through our head. But when you look globally, when you start looking at that, it's a huge fucking problem.
Like, for example, it's not a coincidence that I'm going after Islam the way I am, and I live in Europe. Like right now, I'm in southern Germany. I'm probably about 30, 40 feet from a Muslim right now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you could say the same in Florida and Texas and whatever.
Right.
So, you know, this is a major thing here, guys. And there is a world outside of the United States which a lot of people in America are not really aware of.
I agree.
It's really painful. But I don't know. YouTube is dominated by America. Most of my subscribers are Americans. So even though we got some other representatives here.
I have to disagree there, Devin, because I don't think the demographic is wildly skewed to Americans. I really don't think it is.
What, for me? Or
Yes. Yeah, for you.
Well, I have the numbers, but I think it's the number one country. But
Yeah, but you're going on ISP addresses there. I mean, it's not. I mean, you might be absolutely right. I mean, I'm American. I'm an English in American, but look at we've got Chinese, French people.
Yeah.
We've got French people. We've got Islamic Texans.
Well, let's get specific. We got one Chinese French person. I think he's the sole representative.
We've got women. We've got people with breasts. We've got everything going on.
Well, speaking of women, I want to ask Drew what percentage of women he has on his channel.
I did look one time. It was a couple of months back. It was 10%. So I think I beat you.
You got him.
I am just rolling in the pussy over
Yeah,
here.
because they see your icon and they think it's going to be hair tutorials or something like that.
I actually told them I told them I might do that. I was like, well, I was looking at my demographic and I looked at the analytics or whatever, and I was like 10%. I was like, I can do better than that. I want to do a makeup tutorial.
I would love it. No, Drew, honestly.
With the black eyeliner and stuff because you're metal and stuff, you better do that.
Drew,
Yeah.
I would have so much respect for you if you just straight up did a makeup tutorial. No joke. 5 minutes of just straight makeup tutorial from you and end it, and then just don't comment. Don't even respond to any comment. Just act like it never happened.
I really ought to do that. I thought about doing, corpse paint sometime.
You know what we should do? We should do like a atheist YouTuber truth or dare or something, or just dare. Like I dare you to do that video, dude.
Yeah.
I'll do like a pro Jacqueline Glenn video or something where pro CJ Werleman.
Well, because I was thinking, I was like, well, what could I have Devin do? If I did the makeup, what could he do? I was like, he would have to do something like apologizing to the drunken peasants or something like that.
Oh, no, don't make it involve the Young Turks, whatever you do.
Oh, now the door opens just a little bit. Jake Uger, I am so sorry I ever questioned
What
you.
about me? Like, what you would dare me to do?
Whiteface.
Well, I could do. Actually, I did that before. Actually.
That's racist, bro. Don't you know?
I want to see more spitting on the camera out of you.
More spitting.
Just no, here it is, a 5-second video of you just spitting on the camera, and then just end the video right there. Those are the kind of things that go viral, man. You cannot put a video that's over 10 minutes and expect it to go viral.
You know what would be funny about that, though? If I did a makeup tutorial, that would probably get over like a couple of million views.
Yeah, sure. Honestly. And you have to be in full Metal Gear, like full on, like you're about to go out.
I'll get my patch jacket, dude. I'll fucking spike up and shit.
Yeah, and drink in between the makeup like application.
Well, that's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, right. That was
I mean,
redundant for me to say.
I have to be honestly. I'm really glad that this is going to be posted to my channel as the first ever hangout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because it's just so fucking. I'm crying with laughter, dude. I really am. He's just so funny.
Yeah,
Well-
and you can have it, man, because like I say, you've kind of popped my cherry here on the Google Hangouts.
I know, and I really like that. I really like that because I've respected you for a long time, Drew. I really have.
I appreciate it.
I'll
Yeah.
lick you funny later.
Yeah, Drew, you got that whole thing. I remember watching a video from yours way back, or not that far back, but where you have that thing where people don't expect you to be so lucid and eloquent, and then like you shock people. And I don't know what that is. But within,
So what he's saying there, Drew, is that you look like a drunk, long-haired metal rock.
Yeah, well, I actually do get that a lot. It's
No, but
like, well, he's
such a backhanded compliment.
Well, it really is. I understand, but I understand totally where he's coming from because I've heard it so much. It's like, well, dude, I have like an empty 12-pack sitting next to me, and I'm still making the fucking videos, and I'm still fucking down on them and shit. And it's like I got the long hair, and I'm wearing like a death metal T-shirt and shit.
I hate you, dude.
Slayer poster.
it's not even that. It's not even that. You could tell me there's a guy in Texas making YouTube videos. I'm already expecting you to be an idiot. Like it's amazing.
Thanks, Devin. Fucking hell, dude.
Oh please, you've been there a couple months.
Yeah, all right. A couple of months.
I was born in the darkness. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here 5 years, so fuck Devin.
So do you have any guilty pleasures musically that we need to know about?
I gotta say, you've kind of hooked me on Enya.
Nice. You like my
Dude, the chill
little
step
remix.
version is really
Does anybody
good.
realize how old that song is? I know
Yeah.
Devin does, but anybody else? Does anybody else realize that was in the charts in the UK in the 80s?
That was in the.
Wait, it was made in the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah, she's been around forever.
But
Are you serious?
the thing
And
is,
Enya, I'm sorry, Devin. Enya was like, if you like Enya music, you're like a bit of a dick in England.
oh dude, if you like Enya, you're going to Lilith Fair. I mean, even that is a reference that these guys aren't going to get. But like, you're definitely like a total feminist to soft romantic comedy kind of guy.
So let me ask you a question. So when you choose the music for your videos, I mean, is that just something that you like, or are you using it for like dramatic effect or something like that?
Well, yeah, I'm very musically inclined. Like
I know
my father's a musician. My parents met on a Broadway in New York. I was born in New York.
Awesome.
My grandfather is a musicologist, famous musicologist from South Africa. So music is all in my family, and I went to art. So I'm like the black sheep, like the non-musical one, but I still have a passion for it. So actually, with my channel, it started with the Kirk Cameron song, which happens to be a good song. Like that song grew on me, his The Time Is Now song, and so I just kept playing that song as my outro, and then I I do mashup videos, and I'm all over music. I love music, but
We get
and
that.
music is entertaining. Music helps everything. Imagine going to see a movie without music. So why would you expect?
Well,
a YouTube
there are
video?
like some movies that actually work without music,
Name
like Frankenstein, for example.
Well,
Or
I
Dracula.
prefer The Bride of Frankenstein, or what was the one with
Young Frankenstein.
There it is with putting on the Ritz. I
Mel
mean,
Brooks. Yeah.
There you go. You can't.
My favorite thing with your videos, Devin, is you have a couple of outros that I really, really love. I love the one with. I'm not a big fan of that guy that you kind of. He's like he's stood in front of a bank of TVs. He's got like a black balaclava on and a black and some sunglasses. Because he looks like he could be.
Masked Arab.
Is that the masked Arab?
Yeah, it's a master.
I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I
He's
thought
in
it
there
was
for
just
that
some.
reason.
Okay. Well, that's just
Yeah.
me being a dumbass. The second one I like is the one where the guy with a hoodie, and he's just like video by Devin Tracy.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
But the outro with the bit from Indiana Jones and the Temple, the girl with the I love you eyes.
Oh yeah, from Indiana Jones. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude. I love that little clip that you put in there, and it's all building up and stuff like that. I mean, that's why I love your shit, dude. I'm gonna be just a little fan here just for a second.
Love it. I'll take it.
Yeah, when that stupid bitch with the black hat talking about white guilt the other day, last week that that video was. It's what you're saying, and I kind of wonder if you script it or if it's just natural. And it's like the music. I know you put the music in after and stuff like that. But the last word you say, the last words you say on that video is "I will not stand for it," and then it just rises, it crescendos into that music.
Well, the thing is with music,
that just gave me fucking chills, dude.
I love it, man. Well, thank you, but with music, it makes everything sound better. So that
Yes, it
song,
does.
you could say anything over it. You could just be reading the alphabet.
No, you couldn't. No, I'm sorry, you
Well, it still has an impact.
couldn't. Not that one. Not that one. No, I'm talking about Enya. I'm talking about Enya there.
But I like my Rage Against the Machine though. Rage to me taps
I
in, and I
love
like
that
also.
one.
That's the
I like the
best one.
fact those guys are also probably like,
Yeah, I like that one.
those guys are like all probably religious and like lefty, commie. Like I'm
They're
sure
as
I
far left as
disagree.
you get. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I disagree with them on everything, but I don't care. I'm taking their music.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that piece of music that you're actually using, and not talking about Enya, but the guy on the guitar, was used on the Unstoppable video by Kirk Cameron, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
But if you go to that video on YouTube, that is one of the funniest Flying Monkey napalm raids ever, because they have completely taken over that comment section, and it's all about atheism. And like you'll get a couple of people like, the power of Christ is so strong that these atheists are still affected by the words. It's like, no, dude.
It's gone way beyond that. Way beyond that.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you call Rage Against the Machine though? What kind of music is that? Like, what is that classified as?
I would call it punk.
Industrial metal.
Yeah, it's just some kind of hard rock. It's not metal, but it's
punk. It's punk to me.
It's punk-esque, I guess.
It's like a new version of the Sex Pistols to me.
What's like a new metal band? What's a good new metal band?
Death Clock.
Death Clock. It depends on what kind of metal you like, dude. There's like millions of subgenres of metal.
Do you see the Beavis or Butthead image over there? Are you a big AC/DC guy?
Yeah, come on, Butthead. What do you got?
New metal? I don't listen to new metal. I'm old enough that I listened to metal in the 80s and in the 90s. I couldn't tell you a new band if I had to.
So those bands imprinted on you the way Nirvana imprinted on me?
Pretty much, yeah.
I went to a music festival back in England, and we watched Radiohead, Muse, and another band that I can't quite remember. But I've seen Radiohead live, I've seen Muse live, and they are, without a doubt, and I've seen U2 live as well twice, and Muse by far are the best. No, in fact, it's a 50-50 between Muse and Radiohead. If you've ever seen any of those bands live,
Muse is my favorite band. Muse is my favorite band that hasn't killed themselves with a shotgun. But I saw them in Berlin live, and they were amazing. Couldn't get enough of them. Although I haven't listened to their new album, so I guess I'm not a real good fan.
Well, we're trying to get a girl in here real quick. It's either Christiana or Liz. So we'll see. We'll see. Just how much more time do you have, Devin? Because I know I've kept you for a while.
Yeah, I could do a little more. Yeah, Drew, I don't know. Are you nervous, man? I'm not sure if you're used to being in a hangout where you got 5 people watching.
He doesn't strike me as being nervous. We've got 10 people watching. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
We have 10 people watching right now.
Dude, this is the underground, man. This is where the real people come to talk about the real shit.
The people aren't. Yeah, the people that aren't bothered about fame or getting popular. I mean, me as somebody who has no subscribers, I'm not interested in. I don't have a YouTube channel, although I have 11 subscribers apparently.
Yeah, why don't you pump out a video already?
About what? What the fuck am I going to talk about?
Dude, you're a British atheist living in Texas. Go.
I get that, but I mean, it's getting time to do it. I mean, the only reason why I can do this right now is because my wife and kids are not here. I mean, I could still do it, but.
I have an idea. Just do a video and say black people commit a lot more crimes than every other race in America.
That wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Safe.
By the way, I have a little story there. While I've been away this week in this campus type thing, so you have to go and line up. There's a cafeteria that you have to line up and get food and all that kind of shit at lunchtime. So you line up and you choose which line you want to join depending on what kind of food you want. So I lined up in this one line, and I was getting whatever I was to eat, and I was the first person in the line, and it was a black girl, or a black woman, should I say, not a black girl. It's a black woman behind the counter, and I was like, "Oh, could I get that, please?" Mm-hmm. And could I get a little piece of that? Mm-hmm. And is it okay to get another piece of the fucking chicken there? Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. The person behind me is black, right? Black woman, black girl. Oh my God, the reaction that person then gives that. Hi, honey, what can I do to help you? Now that to me is like, is that racism? It affects me. It bothers me the fuck. It really bothers me. It really bothers me.
Wait a
I
minute.
see one person's. Go
Are
ahead.
you asking us if that's racism? Because only
yes, I
Tyler
am.
can answer that. Only Tyler has the authority to answer that.
Well, I mean, like, that person treated you differently than that black guy, so yes, that's racist.
So
Yeah, 'cause we all have to sit in silence and check our privilege. Go ahead, Tyler.
You know what I loved about that Black Lives Matter? They tried to get a 4.5 minute silence,
Yes.
like in that rally. Good Lord, they should have gone for 4.5 seconds. Like 4 minutes? Are you kidding me? When was the last time anybody's had any group of people be silent for 4.5 minutes? It's like,
There's nothing I can
It
do.
happened. It happened this morning.
yeah, but they just had the anniversary for Hiroshima. They could not get 4.5 minutes.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
That
talking
was-
about. You know what I'm talking about.
That was so irritating to me. Drew, would you not? Did you do a video on that?
Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I did. The one where they interrupted Bernie Sanders.
Yes,
Did
it
you
was
did you
very
mention
right.
when the black woman says I'm screaming in front of a bunch of fucking white racists, or not fucking, but white racists?
No, I cut it off before she even got to talk because I wasn't going to
Oh.
give her any bit of a voice. But yes,
Okay.
I watched that bit. And when she's like, all you white supremacists in Seattle, of all places, fucking Seattle,
you-
Washington.
That is a jump the shark moment for that woman. As like her 15 seconds of fame just ended right there. Like unbelievable statement.
It's this thing within the black community, though. Like, I noticed, like, there's a growing trend of saying that all white people are racist, and that a lot of blacks blame, like, white people for their problems.
Yeah, but it basically devalues the word racist to mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know-
when they use the word racist, they use the sociological definition, which is prejudice and power. So they kind of want to change the definition to that.
Yeah, that's garbage. But I love the earrings of that Black Lives Matter girl. These big ass crucifixes. I mean, good God, just the imagery of that. Like, oh my God.
Well,
Yeah.
she said that she was a radical Christian.
Yeah, well, it's come out she's like a Palin supporter or some kind of shit.
You know what really pissed me off about that one? I mean, it was obviously just the stupid racist shit, but the look on that black girl's face, the one with the long dreads, the way she was looking defiant. That is what pisses me off. Look at her face.
Bro, the best bit is when they both sit there and scream at the guy about how rational they are.
Yeah.
That is bar none the best bit. We did that. I did that on my own channel, and then on the goddamn podcast, we did that clip again just so all of us could comment on it. That shit is so fucking funny.
Weren't they saying shit like, shut up and let us speak?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Did you not hear that?
Yeah, and demanding that they're given the time to talk, or they will shut the rally down.
How is the
How
security
are they
that
able
bad?
to do anything? That is just, who are these people?
Well,
They're
yeah.
nobodies. They're like me. They don't hold no power. Just the fact that they get up and think that they can overtalk somebody.
I didn't
with
understand
no
the first part.
witness.
At the beginning, they were talking about how Seattle used to be Native Americans here. You know, we're in occupied land. But then they said it's in Kings County. Was that really named after Martin Luther King? Because they started talking about Martin Luther King immediately afterwards.
I'm not aware of that.
I'm not even sure. But the funny thing is that they're comparing themselves to Martin Luther King, which is like the total opposite.
Yeah, they think they're in the 1960s. They think they're in Mexico City in 1967, like holding up the Black Power fist and shit. It's like, dude, no. You guys are like privileged little baby first world black activists. And then getting behind guys like Michael Brown.
Yeah.
Good
That's
Lord.
That's like the crux of it, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly, Devin. Now that is a really good point that you brought. That Devin Brown thing. Now,
You Michael Brown?
Michael Brown, Devin Brown.
That's your new name, Devin. It's going to help your street cred, bro. Devin.
But I mean, supporting Michael Brown and like holding him up as some civil rights person is like saying Rodney King for president. It's like, this is not the guy, people. Like, this is nothing. Please walk away from this.
Yeah, Michael Brown and Freddie Gray. Those were two people you don't want to build a movement off of. I would say.
Yeah, what was the guy? Dark Matter brought this up on the show the other week. The guy, what's the guy got shot in the back 8 times by the cop when he was running?
Yeah.
That guy.
The guy in South Carolina.
That's somebody I can see you basing a movement around. Okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but here's the
But
problem.
there's no
with that.
cover up there.
Yeah, the problem is the white cop got arrested for murder by
Yeah, he's
white
fucked.
people and by a white system.
Yes, exactly.
So it's
he
like,
will never
where
be.
do you
He
go
will
from
never
here?
be a policeman again. He will
Yes.
never be a police officer ever
and
again.
and that's why you will not be able to base the movement off of him. But Mike Brown, I mean, that last video I did, it was about all of that. It's dude, the evidence is overwhelmingly on one side of the issue.
Yeah, dude, that Wikipedia page on that shooting is just so damn convincing. It's just like, if you read that page, you cannot have the same perspective that you had before you read that
my
page.
God. Like the witness reports, and when you find out all of the witnesses were either biracial or black,
Exactly.
it's like,
And wait,
wow.
biracial, and let's not get it twisted. They're black. I mean, they're not like, oh, that's probably a white guy. It's not like some Casper the Friendly Ghost looking dude. It's like he's black.
I mean, like if you read it, it isn't like honky number 1 said this and honky number 2 said that or some shit like that. It's like, okay, this like 78-year-old black guy said this, all that shit. Yeah,
that's the 74-year-old black guy. He said my favorite quote, which is, "I would have fucking shot that boy too." It's like, wow. I mean, what coming from a 74-year-old black man to say that, an eyewitness?
Yeah, exactly. 74 years old. Wow. How much life has this guy seen, and what has he seen change in his own community?
And then also all the people
I would shoot that fucking kid myself.
Also, yeah, exactly. 74. He's lived through it all. That guy's done it all. Wow. But then also the people that were caught lying. That tells you a lot. Mm-hmm. They flat out got caught lying. And it came out. It came out. But nobody wants to hear it. They don't want to follow it.
Personally, I didn't. Well, I'm just a bit of a dumbass. I don't get time to look at the news and stuff like that. But the Mike Brown thing, I didn't even know that had been analysed so much, and it had gone through the courts and stuff like that. So I am a little bit like naive in that respect. Right. It's just only that I haven't given time to look at it. So most of my news shit, when it comes to things I'm bothered about, comes from you or Drew.
Well, the thing is, there's a big frenzy when an event happens, and it gets overhyped and race baited and race hustled by like the Young Turks and the black movements and the white liberals. So everybody gets it all in the frenzy, and they get their rocks off, and then the facts come out. Like, what have you heard about Sandra Bland? Drew, have you done a video on that?
I haven't done a video, but I've been in the Young Turks chat about that.
Okay, so why is that a dead story now?
Well, because they have nothing on her. They have nothing on it.
It's dead because there's not a shred of evidence to suggest that she did not commit suicide, and the footage of the prison cell came out, and the people in the prison cell were black and Latino. So there's no story here. We cannot say fuck Whitey when there's black prison guards helping this lady into her cell. It's like there's no juice there. It lost all of its steam, and now there's not a peep about Sandra Bland.
Yeah, well, the only ones I've heard since then are there are these protesters that are around like the county jail or wherever that Sandra Bland was, and they're protesting, but what they're protesting is we need to kill all white people. I mean, I know this is not indicative of all the black people in the population or whatever, but it's like, but those are the groups that are still showing up. It's left to those people.
Well, I saw one conspiracy nut do a video on it where they were looking through the police footage or the prison footage, and there was a black guy, like some black guy that worked at the prison who was putting gloves on, and they're like, I think this is the guy. This is the guy that killed her probably. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Now we're accusing some black guy of killing her, and like it's still about white racism? Like, what the fuck? It just makes my head go into full migraine.
Oh yeah. Every day that I get home, I get I check my YouTube, and the fucking little bell or whatever in Google. Mm-hmm. The little bell is like fucking 100 plus or some shit like that, and it's half of them are the Sandra Bland, and it's like goes back to the TYT and everybody calling me a racist and shit.
Who's the new guy we got on the chat?
New guy.
Hello. Baku. It's got to be somebody I invited. Who are you, Batu? Who are you, sir?
I'm gay today.
I'm sorry.
You say
I'm gay today.
You're gay today?
Yeah.
That's
Who
cool.
are you? Who are you?
Don't you know? Don't you know what does that mean? I'm gay today. I mean, I'm so happy.
Oh, good.
Okay, but who are you? Who are you?
I was like, what the fuck?
Here?
I'm not gay.
Okay, all right. Let's just calm this thing down real quick. Who are you and why are you?
Who I am? It's a really nice question. I'm Jesus.
Do you want me to kick you out of the chat? Like, state your name, state your purpose. Why are you here? Why are you here? Did I invite you?
That's kind of amazing. He hacked in here. That's awesome.
Wait a minute. I'm actually kind of halfway convinced he's Jesus.
I don't think he is.
You're drinking a glass of water. Is that true? Can you turn
Are
that
you?
into wine?
It's not water. It's a holy water.
Okay, so, all right. So Batu,
Wait.
who
Hold on.
the
Let's
fuck
try to figure out where he's from.
All right, then, go
Wait,
ahead.
is he from the Middle East? Are you from like
Hey, Devon. Yeah,
are you from
tell me.
Dubai or where are you?
No, I was born in United Kingdom, but I'm living in Turkey. What do you
Oh,
know
okay.
about the Turkey?
I know that you guys committed a genocide against Armenians,
And that Mein Kampf that's like a bestseller there.
Both
and I know
Um,
it's one of the worst places in the world to be gay.
also no fact.
Devon, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
How do you define yourself?
I am one of the most oppressed people in the world. I am a white male straight web designer.
Cisgender, bro.
Oh yeah, cisgender. Right.
Such a weird guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just a regular guy, just doing regular things.
I
My
don't
point
think
is,
so.
my point is, how did you get into the chat? Because my finger is hovering over eject, so I'll give you a reason not to eject you.
Yeah, give us your statement. What are you about today? What's
You
going
have
on?
1 minute. Explain.
Hey, Devon, let's talk about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No, you didn't answer my question. Who are you and how did you get in the
Sorry,
chat? Let's start with that one.
he knows who I am.
Um,
He knows who I am.
I
So he must
told
be
you,
one of
I'm
my.
I'm Jesus. I can do everything.
So wait, did I block you at some point?
Oh man.
I banned you, didn't I?
Do you know Hangout Snitch?
No, what's that?
Check out.
What is
Yes.
it? What is it for? What do we get from it?
You have another 30
This
seconds.
this website finding public conference. I'm joining with Hangout Snitch.
Oh, cool.
You got it.
5, 4, 3,
2.
2, 1. Bye.
So that's like chat roulette, basically.
Yeah, there we go. He's gone.
He was so cool though.
No, he
How do you
wasn't.
know
He
my
was
name?
fun.
Smoking that cigarette in a nice suit.
If he would have answered my question, I would have left him in, to be honest with you.
He had a chance.
He did. I gave him a chance. I gave him a minute, and he wasted it, to be honest.
I'm gay today. Who says that?
Yeah, just an idiot.
Well, if he's really Jesus, he can like miracle his ass back in this hangout.
Well, he put his link in our group chat, so he got his little spam off.
Well, you seem to know what's going on more than I do, Devin, because I can't see what you see.
Oh, the group chat, you got it.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
I don't. Yeah. No,
Did you remember banning him?
Yeah, I've banned guys with accents like that, and they are bitter, and they make videos. I mean, if he's from Turkey, there's a good chance he doesn't like me.
Yeah. I got the. He looked like he was sat in a nice, comfortable place. He certainly didn't look like he was being oppressed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what gender identity he was going with, but I don't know. Interesting guy. He was like a gay Turkish James Bond.
All I know is if I wake up and there's like a kangaroo head in like my blanket or something at the foot of my bed, I'm gonna be very upset.
You're absolutely fucked if that happens.
Dude, I want moderator control over your YouTube comments so I can ban people. I just go through there and just clean sweep.
I have noticed that when Devin first started like coming and commenting on my videos and stuff, he kept banning people.
That's right.
Dude, they would be so pissed off. Like, you can't ban me here.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing because they get their panties in a bunch because I banned them, and they bitch about it on other channels, and then I go to the other channels and I ban them on that channel.
He would pop up in like the middle of like there'd be like a comment, and then there's like 88 other replies to it or something. And like in the middle of that, there's Devin. He's like, "Fuck you, ban."
Dude, it is so priceless. You know what is funny though? Have you ever gone back into comment threads that you were in like a long time ago?
Oh,
and you come back and it's like you have like 500 upvotes or something.
How do you remember this shit? This is what gets to me, right? Because the only way I can keep up with any kind of YouTube comments is through Google Plus. Is that how you guys do it, or is it just are you just hovering over the comment section? Or
Dude,
what?
I have never been on Google Plus, if not by accident.
Yes, exactly.
So you are physically like waiting for somebody to respond, or like how does that work?
Emails. It comes via email.
Through Gmail.
Through Gmail, right? So it's through Google Plus.
Yeah,
Well,
technically, but
yeah, but I mean, well, I think what Devin's saying is like to actually go into Google Plus and look. Is that what you're talking about, Devin?
Yeah.
Who the
never.
fuck does that?
Dude, I go there about as much as I go to AJ Plus just to get like content, just news reports. Hey, what's going on in the world? Let me go check my AJ Plus.
Can I ask you two guys a favor? And I'm talking to Drew and Devon, obviously. Would you mind sharing? I think this hangout has gone really well, and I think it's been fun. I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to finish right now. It doesn't have to. But would you mind sharing it on your channels, or is that too much to ask?
Well, I don't think Drew does hangouts on his channel, but
He does now.
I put up a bunch of fluff on mine, so I could do it. Sure.
Yeah, I've already shared it. I shared it via Google Plus.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not looking for subscribers or anything. I just think it's been a really good thing. If anybody ever wants to sit and listen to.
Yeah, it's just I'm wondering what you like. What do you mean? Like, do I need to get it and like upload it to my channel or something?
Yeah, he's talking about mirroring it.
No. Just link it on Twitter or whatever.
I've already done that too.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Only because I think like compared to this morning where the conversation seemed to be a little bit stilted. It just seems. I don't know. We seem to get a good bunch of guys in here, and we can talk about anything. I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I know you haven't, but I have. So fuck y'all.
Oh, man.
The Turkish guy enjoyed it.
I want to know Skullduggery. Is there a name I can call you by besides Skullduggery?
How about Anthony?
Anthony. Okay, Anthony. Did you eat the Baconator?
Last night?
You did not, did you?
I did. I have eaten the Baconator. There's no way I could eat a triple Baconator. Or is it the son? Or is it the son of Baconator?
What was that? Carl's Jr.? What is that?
This is Wendy's.
Is it? Is that what that is? Yeah, I saw Baconator on the picture, and I was like,
Wendy's,
oh yeah.
Wendy's. Now the Baconator is pretty good, right? But I didn't want to deal with driving and eating a sloppy burger, so I got something that wouldn't make a big mess. So I got the nuggets, and they were all right, and they were okay. It was really late, dude. I was getting a headache. I just wanted to get home.
Yeah, I was just mildly curious because we have an Englishman living in Texas. I just got to keep track of these things.
Yeah, the one thing, Drew, the one thing I do love, and this, I don't think it's not a Texas thing, but I have a Chipotle fixation.
I've never ate Chipotle.
Me either.
There are two reasons why I like Chipotle, and the first reason is because they make amazing burritos with freshly cooked food right in front of you. The second reason is they're a secular company.
Oh.
I mean, most companies are, but they are overtly secular. They will put Steven Pinker quotes on the bags and stuff. Which just seals the deal for me. I mean, I think that's awesome.
So they're the opposite of Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony, have you ever gone looking out for fish and chips in Texas?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And last year, Long John Silver's started, only for a limited time, it was a limited time deal, they started doing haddock, which is a type of fish. I presume you've had fish and chips in England, Devon.
Yeah, I love it.
Thoughts? Was it cod or haddock?
I think it was haddock actually. I had it at a pub, like a pub grub sort of situation.
Oh well, that's bullshit, dude. Unless it was an amazing pub where they actually cook the fish fresh.
It was in Wimbledon, so it's one of the nicer ones. But yeah,
yeah, but it will be fresh. So what you need to do is you've never been to a chippy, right?
Like a sort of
like
lower class one, or
like no, just a chippy.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've been to a couple, but yeah, tell me about it.
A chippy is where you go, where it's like, okay, so where I used to work in Bradford, it was out in an outskirt of Bradford, it was out in the country and stuff, and there was a fish and chip shop, it was a walk away, it was a 10-minute walk, and sometimes you'd walk up there and there'd be a sign on the door saying, sorry, I'm out fishing. Like he would be out with some people in the North Sea catching the fucking stuff. And then he'd come back the next day and you would be served with fresh fish that was never frozen. It was caught yesterday and it's been stored on ice and it was dipped in batter and dipped in oil and cooked and it was sticky, fresh, beautiful fish. And you just can't get that unless you want to eat catfish in Texas. I'm sure Drew will concur on that one. If you like catfish or tilapia, you're golden. I hate both of those things.
Well, I have a respect for breaded seafood of any kind after I went to Mardi Gras.
Breaded? No. Breaded, it needs to be battered.
Well, same difference. I mean, some
sort of what? No. I'm sorry, Devin. I'm ready to unsubscribe in a second.
Wait, what do you think breaded means?
Breaded means you get the fish.
Battered.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. You don't cook, obviously.
Are you imagining me covering a fish with just a loaf of bread? I mean, I'm talking about.
Oh my God, Devon, you've obviously never cooked yourself.
Yeah, explain the difference.
I can't believe we're talking breaded and battered. So breaded means you get the fish, right, and you coat it in egg, or you coat it in flour. You coat it in egg, and then you'll cover it in breadcrumbs, right? So you'll get either regular white bread that's a little bit stale. You'll crumble it up, you'll cover it, and you'll grill it or fry it or whatever, right? That's breaded.
Yes. Okay.
Battered means you will cover it in egg, cover it in flour, but then you will dip it in a mixture of egg, flour, salt and pepper, and it'll be covered in and then you will dip it. Sure, no. Well, I haven't finished. I haven't finished. And then you will dip it in hot oil. And what happens with that batter is all that batter bubbles up around the fish, so the fish becomes very crunchy and it's cooked so quickly compared to grilling, which breaded would be.
This is like talking. This is like talking to an Eskimo about ice.
No, dude, if you have never had proper fish and chips. No, dude. I will send you a picture later. I will send you a picture. How's that?
Yes, but in the context of my story, the difference between breaded and battered is totally insignificant.
No, it isn't. You're still wrong.
No.
No, you're still wrong. I know. I'm sorry because I know therefore you've never eaten battered fish.
I'm sure I have. I just didn't care enough to know.
Ask Luke. Oh, shut up. Ask Luke. He'll tell you.
Okay, I will.
Because he'll tell you the difference. And it's a massive difference. But my point is, you can't get that shit here. That's the thing. You can't. I can't eat the food that I'd really like to eat. Black pudding is another one.
Yeah, but why would you want to eat that?
What's that?
I think it tastes very good.
Hey, I'm curious actually to ask a Texan, Drew. What is Odessa, Texas? What does it mean to you in a sentence?
I've heard the name. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Do you know where Odessa is?
No, I don't.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know.
Is it that small?
It might be. I mean, Texas is fucking huge, man. Odessa. Yeah. I'm gonna type it in.
Permian Panthers.
It's where the Friday Night Lights is.
The Permian Basin, indeed.
Friday Night Nights.
Friday Night Lights, yeah. The movie and the TV show.
Oh, okay. So like far west Texas. Yeah, it looks pretty small on the map.
Yeah, so that is going to be my first video. I've decided I'm gonna ruin Devon on the differences between breaded and battered fish.
But what defines West Texas compared to the rest of Texas? Like what is it known for?
Well, the landscape is totally different. The
very flat.
That far west Texas, I've never been further west than San Antonio, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, there you go. Right there we go. So you must have been out of state though, Drew.
Oh yeah, I've been to Mexico twice. I've been all over like the east. Well, I mean like the east and shit. I've been all over like East USA, but
right. Well, that definitely does count. But I mean, you'll I'm sure agree with me, Drew, that many Texans have never even traveled out of Texas.
Right.
What about Drew? Internationally, where have you gone?
I've been to Mexico twice. That's as far international as I've gone.
That doesn't count.
And if you were to take a flight and go somewhere else, another country, what's on the top of your list?
Oh man, there's a lot of places I like to go. The first place I'd probably like to go is Canada, just because it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it'd be like a good starter place to go.
Like car?
But I've never been to Europe or Australia or anything like that.
So if you had the opportunity to drive or fly, would you drive or fly?
If I was staying inside the United States, I'd rather drive. But if I was anywhere else, I'd rather fly.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't. Obviously, I don't have the choice of driving to Europe. So.
Yeah, there are places in Europe that I would definitely recommend. I'm sure Devon would as well. There's places you don't want to go. Amsterdam is a great place to go.
Dude, if I had more inspiration, I would organize trips to Europe to show you guys what you're missing. I mean, it is ridiculous what's going on over here.
I bet. I'd love to go.
Dude, I will show you Budapest, and you will never be the same.
Yeah, it's the only reason the only reason I stay in fucking Texas is because of family. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't live here.
And it isn't just that, though, is it, Drew? I mean, you could literally stay in Texas for the rest of your life, and you would have everything available to you.
Well, I probably would, but I wouldn't want to. I would rather go other places. I would rather live somewhere else.
Are you a single guy?
I am, yes.
Interesting.
At least I'm not the only one.
I don't think Drew's a virgin, though.
Well, he didn't
I'm
say
sorry,
a virgin.
Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry.
Oh, still got the V card. I'm sorry, man. Sorry to hear that.
No,
It's all right.
no, we know. We're all open in this. We know what Tyler is, and we love him. It's fucking true.
He hasn't been spoiled yet. He hasn't been stained.
Imagine that first time, Tyler. Oh my god.
It's going to be such a buzzkill. It's going to be such a downer when he's.
Yeah, it will.
That's it.
It really will, bro. It's going to be such a downer. You're not going to be happy at all.
Yeah, you should have got rid of that one like 5 years ago. Just got it out of the way, and then been a virgin. That would have made more sense, to be honest with you. That first time, shit. It's either lasts too long or it doesn't last long enough, and you don't even know what you're doing. It's awful.
Still don't. Still have no clue.
You might not, Devin. Well, anyway, who wants to stay on this hangout? Because this is awesome, dude. I mean, this has lasted 3 hours and 47 minutes so far, which I didn't expect it to. Drew must have walls to dry off.
Well, I mean, I want to stay, but we're doing a Skeptic Fence patron-only show in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Do it, dude. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Go for it, dude.
Sorry, guys. I really would. I'd love to stay, but I can't.
That's fine. I very much appreciate your contribution, Drew.
Yeah. Thanks for having me too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now eject his ass like we did last time.
It was good to talk to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew.
See you, Drew.
All right. So, Devin, I know it's getting late there, dude. If you're fine, I can carry on talking to you, but I know you've got a lot to do. And
I can do 12 more minutes if you guys are up for.
12 more minutes.
Yeah,
Very specific.
2 a.m.
2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, is that? Where's your girlfriend right now? Is she asleep?
Yeah, she's in the other room. Yeah.
So I'm very interested in this one thing, right? Your sleeping patterns. Yeah, your sleeping patterns seem to be all over the place. I find that interesting, and what the fuck's going on there?
Well, yeah, it's funny. Somebody said today, like, I love waking up in the morning and seeing the kangaroo is like totally active and has a new video for me. Because like I'm like Santa Claus. I'm doing shit when you guys are sleeping.
She knows when you're awake.
Yeah, but then I stay up late and stuff. So you know, it varies. It depends on.
Is that because you don't like to go to sleep? And I asked this for a reason because I heard when you were talking to was it Rowan?
Eternal Life.
Yeah, it might have been him. I might tell you, but you mentioned that when you were younger, you used to get night terrors and stuff like that, and I found that really interesting. And I left a comment on the video, and I think it was Rowan's video, and I listened to the whole thing. I listened to it very intently, and I was struck by the openness of how you were.
Yeah, it's probably.
I know some of the things that you said about what happened with your family in the past and stuff like that, and it was just the night terror thing. I just thought, does that still relate to how you are as an adult?
Well, I got a few thoughts on it actually, and thank you for asking. The night terrors came when my mother died when I was 5, and my stepsister died when I was 8. And after my stepsister died, I thought everybody I loved was going to die, and so I had these terrible nightmares where I would wake up crying and just in total fear, just raw fear, and I'd walk around, and my dad would try to snap me out of it, and this went on for months, and it was a terrible thing. So for that reason, I think I like to occupy my mind, especially when I go to sleep. Like, I don't know about for you guys, but for me, if I'm alone with my thoughts in a dark room, it's not going to go to a good place necessarily. Like, I have to force it to go to something positive and sort of happy. Otherwise, I will start to think about some sort of iffy, sketchy, darker thoughts.
Non-productive thoughts.
Yeah, and then there's another part of me, I think. I'm the baby of my family, so I have older siblings. And I used to fall asleep and people would still be awake. And so I would always hear some ambient noise. And that to me was comforting. That to me said, I'm safe. And so as an adult, I've tried to recreate that where I'll like listen to a podcast and I'll go to sleep with sound in my ear. Like I just cannot go to sleep just like in total silence. That to me is just freaky.
Yeah, I tend to self-medicate somewhat. So I'll drink a couple of beers or whatever. So which is the same thing. You know, you have your own medication by talking about things or whatever you want to do, and I'll drink a couple of beers and it'll get rid of that kind of thought process, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys ever feel that way? Like going to sleep? Does your mind ever wander?
Like, I don't have any problems going to sleep. Like, when I get really tired, I just sleep.
And what are you thinking about?
I don't really think about anything, really. Like, when I was younger, like, when I used to watch The Exorcist, I used to have nightmares of Linda Blair, but after that, I started to not have any nightmares.
Dude, the scariest movie I ever saw was Exorcist Part 3.
When you say that, are you being sarcastic when you say that?
No, I was freaked out by that film.
Because when you first said that, I heard you say that a couple of months ago. I was like, what? He's fucking taking the piss.
Wait a minute. What's wrong? The Exorcist Part 3 is a deeply creepy movie. And also,
I've never seen it.
I was like 17 at the time. You know, you have to factor these things in. But like, you know, like Freddy Krueger, watch Nightmare on Elm Street today versus 1984. You know, in 1984, you're going to be freaked the fuck out by that thing.
I get
today
that.
It looks like a joke.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. It's just I just seem to pick up on that you know, what's happened to you in the past and stuff like that, and the trouble with going to sleep. I wonder if that's I guess you're saying that it does have a big impact on your life right now.
But it's not like this is a very minor thing. This is just a quirky ritual that I do. I would prefer to have, you know, Game of Thrones on TV as I go to sleep.
Yeah,
like a sleep
No, exactly. So this last week, with the company that I work for, I should have TV and internet in my bedroom, but it wasn't working for whatever reason, and it didn't bother me in the slightest. But it still bothers me when I go to bed and I don't have any noise going on, whatsoever. It's
weird. But this is people do. But people do it with like the sound of wind or the sound of the ocean or rain. It's comforting. It's just you're not alone. Is the basic idea.
Yeah, I think I just thought it was when I was listening to that particular conversation that you were having. I just thought it was a very genuine and honest and really nice thing for you to say.
Well, I was trying to open up with the guy and I was trying to reveal my demons, and then he was like, "Yeah, but let's get back to living forever, like, shall we?" Like,
yeah, that was just one thing that I was strangely enough, Devin. I was when I was this is actually when I think about it. I was driving to my interview for my promotion that I successfully got, and the video that I was watching at the time was you and Rowan.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
And I got there. I know. He seems a really nice guy. He's not totally clued. He's got some wild ideas, and that's fine. Nobody's going to knock him for that. Right? Yeah, and we have talked about it. But I was sat outside. I got there way early. Right? I had to go to a different store and wait outside and stuff like that. And I was waiting outside, and I was just listening to what you were saying to Rowan, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. To be honest with you, for you to reveal so much of yourself. Yeah, definitly.
Maybe I should listen back. I didn't realize I was.
It was only when you were talking about your own family. It really was quite touching, because you revealed something about yourself that you had problems with. You know, you had these night terrors and stuff, which I've not personally ever suffered from. Everybody's had shit to deal with. You know, I haven't had to deal with what you've had to deal with regards to parents. But my point is, I just thought it was, you know, everybody thinks you're a cunt, you know, a wider thing, you know what I mean? Fucking Devin Tracy's this, that, and the other. Well, actually, if you get to know you, you're actually just a regular guy that you have feelings too, and just
well, of course I am, but like, it is not a good advice to get onto a YouTube video and start revealing personal things about yourself, because people are gonna use it against you. They're gonna mock you. They're gonna be, you know, the typical trollish dickheads that they are.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was under the illusion that I was in a one-on-one conversation, and that the people I was doing that for were people like you, were people that actually, you know, value what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, you know, you take the good with the bad. That's all you can say.
I know. But I just thought it was very revealing, and
thank you.
I left a comment on there actually. I left a comment on the video just saying thank you for sharing, because I just thought it was quite a personal moment that you shared, and it didn't make any difference with regards to what I think of you. I just thought that was a lot of people would have missed it,
Well, it's not as personal as shoving a banana up your ass, but it was my.
It's not.
Exactly. It was my effort.
Yeah, you actually gave something cerebral, not anal.
But it's hit and miss, you know. Like, I didn't know that guy when he asked to interview me. I didn't know what we were going to talk about. Just like this hangout, we didn't know how it was going to turn out, or, you know, the Vindicator.
I was expecting a train wreck with it being my first ever hangout, but it turns out, you know, like I said, well, if we have things to talk about and we get on with each other, then it might last a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then we don't know. I mean, it's I don't know.
There's different things. Like, people in general, they want quick and dirty. They want something snappy. But there's a lot of people that enjoy long content. They love hit and play on a 4-hour video and just, you know, doing whatever, getting on with their life, and just having that, you know, and diving into it.
I did that. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes do like the sound of your voice, Devin. I'm being totally honest. You do have a very lovely speaking voice. Now, when I was driving to Dallas last week, you kept me company for 5 hours. But I've also no, it's not crazy. But I've also done the same with Sargon of Akkad and other people.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
You know, I just even though he's English and I know where he's from, and he just sounds like me, really.
Yeah, right. Well, the Canadian atheist said I had a voice for radio, so maybe I should.
I did.
Yeah, you do actually.
He was loving you for about 10 minutes.
It was really weird halfway through realizing this is a fan of mine. This is a guy that like came to my channel voluntarily and like subscribed, who's like ripping me.
I have to say, I mean, that whole conversation, I've listened to it like 3 times just so I get a good handle on it. I listened to it live, and I listened to it again, and I had the opportunity to just listen to it again as I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and I mean, just listening, not watching.
Yeah, killed time with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was driving. I had a 5-hour drive, so it killed an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's still under the impression that he
never got through.
Right. Yeah, he still doesn't understand, which
it was a failure. I failed to
baffles me. It baffles. It wasn't even that, Devin. It baffles me that he couldn't. Like, how hard would it be for somebody to just say, you know what, buddy? You know, as I'm going along with this conversation, I'm going to take it all back. I'm sorry, you are fucking right.
Exactly.
I mean, how much win could that guy have had?
But see, here's the point. Sam Harris talked about this. He's like, when I'm arguing and debating people, you're never going to see some guy change their mind in real time. It's that cannot happen. Pride is going to stop that from happening. But
I would do that. The
one thing he did do, he said, wait a minute, I was being a hypocrite on this one point.
Yeah, well, he did back down a little bit. He's like, all right, okay, so you didn't say racist shit. Okay, so you're not a racist, but you still said racist shit.
No, but
that still makes you a racist. If you say racist shit, you're still a racist, and yet he wouldn't back down on that little point.
He tried to back down a little bit with that, but there was a point where he was trying to say, black people commit crime, and one of the reasons is they're starving and they need to get food to feed their children. And I was like,
like to me, that's not any kind of excuse to just do crimes. Yeah.
It's totally ridiculous, and I pointed that out to him. And then I said, also, there are no black people stealing food to feed their children. What kind of ridiculous, like, what percentage of the community is doing that? Like, this is an absurd outlier, theoretical, fantastical bullshit scenario you've painted. And then later, he's defending his guns and this home invasion. I'm like, who's going to invade your home? And he's like, I don't know, some guy to come in and steal my food. I'm like, what? No, that's not what happened. I said, wait, so who's invading your home? Is it some random guy who's just trying to steal your food? He's like, that would never happen. Why would you bring that up? And I'm like, that's what you fucking said to me, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's what you find with these young kids. They'll spout a little shit and then they'll forget what they actually said.
But see,
because they're not. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He had a couple days and he had a follow-up video, and that was his chance to say, okay, I have evolved, I've listened back to it, and now I understand X, Y, Z. But he could not do that, and he doubled down, and it was absolutely the most absurd thing. And that's when I blocked him, because I realized there was no saving this guy.
But he was also trying to play on it. You remember he sent a tweet out saying this is the start of my video, and it was like an apology or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It was all bogus.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And then I know, Devin, you weren't going to get involved with this guy again, so I did it for you, and I was like interacting with the guy, and he said, when will Devin ever answer my questions that I asked him?
Exactly.
Now, I didn't really know what questions. He didn't cite what questions he was asking, but
there's nothing. But the point is he doesn't want to talk to you because you don't have subscribers, which means he's not going to get more popular off an interaction with you.
He did want to talk to me. He did, for some reason. Well, oh my God. I mean, on my feed lately, some people think that I'm your brother or something. It's like me and you were almost the same person. No, we're not almost the same. But, you know, like, if you want to get a reaction, either tweet Atheist Roo or tweet Texas Bantam or whatever, right? Because you'll get a reaction of, or something. I see this twin tagging shit going on, which I don't mind. I do like being affiliated. I want to be affiliated with you. I think you're, I mean, clearly you're an awesome guy.
But are you going to go down with the ship when I start taking heat? Because I'm going to ruffle some more feathers as we go.
Fuck yeah. I will be standing next to you.
Like, you heard Drew. Drew's like, yeah, I get a lot of hate. Hate mostly because I'm defending you, Devin. Thanks.
Yeah, so, yeah. I don't care. I in real life, and this is what people don't realize, in real life, a lot of these people are beta. I would call them beta.
Yeah.
You call them beta because you're LA, but I call them beta because I'm from Yorkshire, right? I am not one of those people. In real life, I tell people what to do, right? No, I don't mean in a nasty way. I'm not like a big fucking badass, but I am in this position for a reason because I can do it. Some people can't. Some people cannot direct other people.
No, I'm glad to
in
have
any
you in that.
any way, shape, or form, in real life or on the internet. I do it in real life. I'll do it online too.
I'm glad to have you as a member of the High Command. I mean, I'm sorry I blocked you. We had a rocky start.
You're forgiven, though.
I accidentally ejected him from a hangout. It wasn't like I banned him.
Funny shit ever, dude. I was amazed that I even got on that. I was sat in my car on a lunchtime, and I was amazed that I could connect through my phone.
That was the first hangout I ever did. Yeah.
I think it was the first official one. I think you did.
But you know what, Tyler? I mean, Tyler, he would be taking more heat for defending me if he didn't have his black invisible shield of defense.
I like the fact that I'm white and I have nothing to hide. You know, when I had that conversation, the Twitter thing with that sexed up atheist, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I asked her about, you know, why am I ashamed and all that kind of thing. As I was having that conversation, somebody who did follow me at the time posted to her saying, I've just looked through this guy's timeline. He doesn't look like a racist or a bigot, right? And I replied to that person and said, you know why? Because I'm not a fucking racist.
Yeah, it's really.
And it was honestly, Devin, it was one of your lines. I did share. I was plagiarizing you there. It was like, you know why you didn't say anything? Because I'm not a fucking racist, and that's something you've said. So I do pick up on the things that you say, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking racist. I've lived and worked around black, brown, yellow, green people, whatever, all my working life. So don't tell me I'm a fucking racist because I'm not.
I know, but
that is what raises my gourd, dude.
If somebody says they're not a racist, they take that as red meat. They're like, oh my God, that sounds like something a racist would say. I mean, it's just like.
I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like the more you call someone a racist, the less racist you'll be.
I don't buy into that, and I'm never going to buy into that. I'm not going to subscribe to that because I'm not a fucking racist.
As far the word racism and racist have almost no meaning at this point, which is a shame because there are real racists out there. But you know, at this point, let me blow your mind. Every human on the planet, according to these muddy ass vague definitions, everybody's racist. So now what? Now we need to come up with more better words to describe what you're actually talking about. Because somebody mentioning black crime statistics is not racist. That's not racism. You know, so like Bernie Sanders.
We know that, though, Devin. I mean, it's just
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I'm sure it must get frustrating for you.
I don't care.
I mean, like, do you think, you know, when all this? I know, but all this TJ shit and all that kind of thing, right? I mean, that fapping video. The one where you were fapped off to Beyonce, that really did epitomise your opinion on everything. That's how much shit you gave.
And do you know how many comments I got back literally saying to me,
that you
just because you masturbated to Beyonce, right? Just because you masturbated to Beyonce doesn't mean you can't still be racist.
Like, you wouldn't go like that.
They did not get the joke.
Yeah, you were just whapping your cheek. Well, what the fuck? Do you really think you zipped your pants down and jacked off?
No, but
people believe it. People believe that shit. They think you actually wanked off live on a.
But even if they acknowledged that I was faking it, they still think my intellectual argument against me being racist is that I masturbated to Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like they think, they are like they're explaining to me like why that's not really a good argument. I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
Exactly, and they don't get the irony of what you're trying to do there.
Yeah.
Which is normal for an American. I've got to be honest. I mean, most Americans don't get irony. Full stop.
I would say most of the internet, my experience on the internet, is listening to people explain my joke to me. Like that's the internet for me. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, trying to say something that you said very eloquently and given multiple angles on it, and they'll go, "Well, yeah, but you were wanking off on YouTube."
Yeah, it's just like,
I mean, he wasn't. He was whapping his cheek.
yeah.
I mean, anybody can do that, and they can't see it. Thank you, Tyler. Yes, with a black man fapping.
Well, this really has turned into a circle jerk. Maybe we should.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, I don't know how much time you guys got, but I think we should. Do you want to wrap this up? I think it's been really cool. I've totally enjoyed it. I would appreciate if you can not promote me, but I think this hangout itself, in and of itself, has been a good experience. So it hasn't been boring. I could listen to it back and think, yeah, I didn't act like a dick at any point. So,
and we wrapped it up in a tidy 4 hours.
Yes, we did. How's that for a hangout? That's like a Sargon of Akkad hangout, talking to some SJW Gamergate thing that I don't know nothing about.
Yeah, G-Man versus the world.
Yes. So yeah, we'll wrap it up because I'm sure people have got it. Devin, Tracy,
Yo.
I love you, man. I love you.
Sweet.
Thank
you for that.
You're welcome. No homo. Tyler.
Implied no homo.
Exactly. I'm married. I would give you a kiss if I saw you, but only on the cheek.
Okay.
Or on the head. And on your head, not your head. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
oh my
okay.
God, let's finish this now. I'm joking.
Tyler,
anyway.
Good to see you again, my man. Thank you again for defending me and being my Black Knight in shining armor.
No problem.
Devin, if you agree with what I'd like to put it, I would appreciate if you could mirror it on your channel. That would be nice. If you deem it worthy enough.
Okay, or the other option is to chop it up and like chop out bits. Maybe you
could do that too. You've got plenty. I'm not going to do that.
For example, though, if we're talking hockey for 20 minutes, maybe people.
Well, if I get the opportunity to do it again, I would very much appreciate having you as a guest, Tyler.
Okay.
And obviously Devin. That goes without saying, Andrew. But thank you very much for everybody. I appreciate everybody's time.
Good night, sir.
Night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.